Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this special broadcast of the Final Fantasy Randomizer. Tonight we've got a Falconic Meridian special to bring to you. I'm here in the booth as Cheesenator and joined by Jet on commentary. How you doing?
Fantastic. This is going to be a very, very fun seed. As Falconic has alluded to in chat, we have 4 Black Mage parties, but these are not quite Black Mages that you're used to every day.
Yeah, there's been a lot of very fun tweaking, which we will talk about or allude to throughout the run, and leave some surprises yet to be revealed. Our runners here for this showcase are ShadowWaker and dem0nfr0g, both veterans of the Randomizer, longtime community members. There should be a good-natured showing. I think they're gonna have a lot of fun competing against each other.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, these are veteran runners, and veteran runners, that means they know what the randomizer has to throw at you. They've done the challenge seeds, they've done the asyncs, they've done entrance floor shuffle, but they've never done a seed like this before, so we'll have to see how they react to the change-ups.
And I'm just about to let the runners go, so after a short delay, we will see them start in Kineria on stream.
Yeah, so for those of you who are not aware, the BTL is indeed standing for Battle Mages, and as dem0nfr0g is alluding to by his names, they are super mega Power Rangers, or extra good casters, but they do a little bit more than just cast Nuke. None of these people are just called Nuke today.
Yeah, we might see them hit some things. You never know. We might see them take a Kraken shot to the face, for all we know. There's a lot yet to be seen about these flags. But speaking of the flags, there's some really spicy stuff going on. Even if the classes weren't modified, we have entrance and floor shuffle. We have a town shuffle. They're not mixed together though, so towns will be towns. We have extended open progression, so there's a dock by the. You don't need the canoe to get into the air. However, there are no docks on the northern continents.
We also have boss's HP and scaling is scaled independently, which is a little bit different than what you've seen on the regular site. So in this case, the boss HP scaling is higher than the stats, so they're not going to hit quite as hard, but their HP can go all the way up to 300, and right away we see divergence, and we're off.
We got freebie mermaids, which is amazing. dem0nfr0g finding that out right away. ShadowWaker about to go do the same. This is also an incentive location. The 4 Fiend floors are incentive, as is Locked Kineria, the Titan's Trove, and goodness, there was one Ordeals. But Ice and Marsh no-go.
Yeah, and we got a ship right off the bat. Now, you'll see a lot of runners actually checking in entrance shuffle. You can see a lot of people checking the castle right away, and this is definitely a case where it pays off because you can get a little bit of extra cash before you do your first shopping trip. Oh, we have an Excal right off the bat too.
Ooh. So last but not least, there are no loose items. The number of incentives exactly matches the number of incentive locations, so they'll dig as many boxes as they feel they need to until it's time to go.
One other probably kind of important note is that there is also 100% EXP scaling per orb. So once they start killing some fiends, they will be able to get levels really quickly.
Yep. And I'm sure some of this stuff will be good for pawning. There's going to be a lot of magic to buy, obviously, given our cast today.
Yeah, that Excal though getting sold off. Got a couple things. So
shops
the runners
unshuffled, by the way. So this is the vanilla contents of the Kineria equipment shops.
Not quite with vanilla prices. Now the runners are given a little bit away here, in that these battle mages cannot equip that Excal, but they are getting a little bit extra stuff.
Yeah, it's not quite like 4 black mages wielding Excals level funny, but there's some stuff going on.
So we got Heal 2 and Invis 2 here, and in case you didn't notice that was a black mage just checking out a white magic shop.
Yeah, I mean, and with only Fast and Fire 2 here in the black shop, you've all got a slot left over anyways, right? So why not go check out the white magic?
Yeah, I mean, what are you going to do with a third empty slot anyways? Might as well throw a Heal 2 in there.
Yeah, and as far as just like overall rando strategy goes, if these were red mages and you were looking at that kind of situation, like Fire 2, yes, it's the AoE you start with. It might not be what you lean on a lot throughout the game, so you'll have a lot of spare charges of that level 1, and Heal 2 is really going to keep your party safe and topped off as you're dungeon crawling. But with Invis 2 there, gosh, I think I would at least dedicate a few slots to that.
Yeah, for sure. Invis 2 is going to be essential here. Pico pointing out in chat that there's a nice quality of life change in the shop. So yeah, so we now have the ability to buy any number of items by scrolling through it. And that is something that One Fine Day just put in, and it's available on the alpha site. So you can try it out now. That is not a Falconic Meridian special here.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that kind of flag. Buying pots. I mean, there are arguments to be traditionalist, but this is not a traditionalist run. This is a anything goes run. So I'm totally a fan of those kinds of conveniences.
Jonathan Yoshi asking in chat, can they buy white? And yes, we just saw that they can pick up Heal 2 and Invis 2. So we're looking at some, kind of red magey like black mages, but a little bit more still. So we'll have to stay tuned. Getting a couple checks. So we saw an early Titan's Trove there. That Titan's Trove is incentivized, so they'll be able to check that out once they get the ruby.
Oh man, there's so many enemies on this mob.
I don't think this is a vanilla formation. What do you think, Cheese?
Yeah, I know that you can get imps together with grimps and wolves and maybe even gerwolves, but they don't tend to roll 9 packs like that or in those specific numbers.
So we may have a little bit of enemy formation fun going on, although it doesn't look like we have shuffled where they are.
Yeah, enemies seem to be popping up in their typical homes. But yeah, we've seen a little bit of Sea Shrine action so far. We've got Melmond at Provoca. We've seen half of the Titan's Tunnel. Ooh, silver bracelets, that's a good find.
Yeah, with the vanilla shops, actually, that's something that probably, I know for myself, I wouldn't actually remember what's in the vanilla armor shops. So, having these more experienced runners, they know that they can pick up these silver bracelets nice and early, and those are some major upgrades there, going from cloth to silver.
Yep. Silver bracelets, 15 absorb, only 1 evade penalty. That's going to keep you really healthy from early game enemy attacks. Creeps one of those early game enemies that tends to hit hard if you have bad armor.
Well, it's those stats in the vanilla game, but I think there's been a little bit of a, minor blurst type deal here with the mage equipable gear. So, Demon Frog shuffling his party around so we can no longer read his sentence. Oh, we have Fade at level 5 there.
Okay. Assuming I don't think the levels at which charges are gained have been changed, so we will be getting charges of that at level 12 on these Blattle mages. I'll call them Blattle mages.
Blattle mages? Oh god, do I have to say that for the next?
No, but that was the
2 hours.
easiest cover up for accidentally almost calling them black mages.
ShadowWaker also knowing these silver bracelets are here, buying that up. That's real nice. And we got 4 sharks in the water casting heat. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe they're doing some steam action, but sharks casting heat seems a little strange.
It seems kind of like a Pokemon sort of thing. There's a water attack that does fire elemental damage in Pokemon.
No, this must be that's some old school, or not old school. Sorry, that's some new school stuff. When I was playing Pokemon, it was just
wow, look at
water
that
attack.
Level 2 white though, and the fact that we even got Provoca this early is just a treasure because this means we can do the pirates. This means we can get magic to take advantage of our early charges.
Yeah, man, Ice 3 is a great bind here, doing the most damage out of all of the level 3 elemental spells. It's not effective against everything, but also some nice pickups here with with Harm 4, Wall, and Cure 3.
Yeah, with 4 mages, you've got a lot to take your pick on as far as which of these spells do you want. I would certainly take a couple walls probably and a couple Cure 3s, but max out the AoEs, especially since Ice 3 isn't effective against undead packs. So if you run through a long undead heavy dungeon, you're going to want both those Fire 2s and those Harm 4s. ShadowWaker, this pop grind not going well because Frost Wolves are doing the Trance revolution.
Ooh, that's not good. He doesn't want to reset out of this since he already took a fight or two, but that's not fun. And it's a good thing that Xcal sold for max money because mages are expensive to upkeep. Never mind when you have 4 of them. Demon Frog's down to less than $1,000 already.
Yeah, we should be able to make back cash pretty easily, given how many big mob packs we're seeing. We've also got 400 flat experience in gold per mob attached to the experience in gold. So with that orb scaling, it'll be a while before we get the big, easy level up scaling for the late game. But in the early game, we're going to get boosts from these large mobs and be able to afford a lot of the expensive stuff in the shops.
Yeah, definitely. So definitely a nice find to find Provoker early though, and I'm sure that we'll be seeing ShadowWalker finding that shortly here. We have a nice Earth floor.
There's a lot of treasure here, and some of it's very close to the door.
If this was the first floor of Earth, this would be called the Earth Armory, because it's got lots of nice easy chests, nice and close to the door. But unfortunately, because it's buried so deep, no one wants to check this.
Yeah. Also, that heal staff came out of a better treasure chest. We have both randomized treasures at normal wealth level, and also a number of chests in the game have been selected to always have some kind of magic goal, not necessarily magic casting, but just a premium item. Demon Frog was also going for spike tile checks. We are on B-side tiles, and he checked the same red bone tile twice rather than checking the other unique tile in the room.
So something that is of note that I'll mention, because it won't be immediately obvious to the viewers, is things like all the item magic has been quote-unquote leveled up. So the heal staff, for example, normally cast heal 1, but in this case, because we have our special battle mages, they will cast heal 2 instead. Things like the Thor Hammer will cast lit 3. You don't get Ruse 2.0 though. Ruse is still Ruse. Saber is still Saber.
Yep, but it's still a big boon to be able to have. Like, if Lit 3 and Nuke end up both rolling level 8 and we've only got Ice and Fire elements to work with, then finding multiple caster items that cast Lit 3 will be fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. And we did find Bahamut, so we'll be able to promote once we find that table. Or that tail. And yeah, so we just keep getting huge formations
here on this Soria tile. By the way, enemy, you already mentioned this before, but enemy HP is clamped, so nothing's going to be just totally squishy and go down to like a single AoE. You're going to have to dump spells into them.
Yeah. In a specific, enemy HP is clamped 100 to 200, so we're not going to see 1,000 health enemies very frequently, but you still will have to deal a little bit of damage to them. These Saria have some nice early EXP though, and they don't seem to be causing a huge threat.
So progress so far pretty much has just been this ship, but that's kind of the nature of entrance floor shuffle. You really have to spend a lot of time digging out all the inner sea entrances before you know like what the shape of the seat is and how it expects you to progress. It could be absolutely the case that a canal and a floater are right around the corner 2 floors down somewhere, but it could also be really slow drag out sort of progression.
Yeah, these entrance floor shuffles can really, with the inner sea, it can really feel different. Sometimes people have to go clockwise, sometimes people go counterclockwise. It depends on if you get your ship or if you get your canoe early. So in this case with the ship, it's going to be, because they know the towns are not shuffled, they're just checking those first and then just clearing out the entrances as they go around. And we have a raid of 240 people from Speed Gaming, so welcome. What you're looking at right now is a special edition of the Final Fantasy Randomizer, handcrafted by Falconic and Meridian, and this is an exhibition race between 2 of our veteran runners. And what you will see here, you will not be able to find anywhere on the internet right now. So this is like pre-alpha special build where we're seeing battle mages, who so far we know can cast white and black magic, and have some extra buffed up gear.
Yeah, this is going to be a great one. If you're a fan at all of the randomizer coming in here from Speed Gaming, but you haven't paid too close attention, forget what you know because there's a lot of new things going on here. Just kind of kick back, enjoy the show. We're going to be casting a lot of spells on a lot of mobs today. We're going to be really power leveling these black mages probably once we get a few orbs under our belt.
Yeah, for sure. And as you said, clearing out big, heavy mobs, so thank goodness we got lots of spell charges. Brittle mages. I like that steel golem. Although, you know what? So far they've been relatively tanky. Those silver bracelets doing some serious work to up their survivability. dem0nfr0g just clearing out this earth 4th floor.
Yeah, he wanted to basically burn as many of his charges as he could on those Saryas, maybe leave himself some emergency stuff for getting out of the floor successfully, and go from there. Oop, that is not the way you want to go. He took the south route and then dipped into a room you don't often see people dip into. But that's the thing about entrance floor shuffle, is you'll find yourself reversing through floors you never walk backwards through in a vanilla map.
Yeah, it's very much one of those, like, I can only go one direction, and I have no idea how to go the other way. It's like trying to teach a race car driver to turn, like, left or right instead of the other way, depending on which one they're used to.
Also, now that both players are through their pirates fight, I'll talk a little bit about it. We didn't see anything spooky from the pirates because we got some good turn order. Pirates were unsafe today. They could have rolled any kind of touch attack or script. Additionally, there was a tri-state. Oh, hey, Masa. Oh. There was a tri-state on, which was in the experimental section for buffed pirates. And I think it rolled off because it's supposed to 20x their stats. Actually, no, it's not 20x. It's like, I think it's 20x the yield, but maybe they have like...
They get roughly vanilla level, they get roughly level 5 fighter stats, I believe. So, you know, they'll be up around 200-300 HP. And they definitely didn't have that, so that tri-state rolled off here. And
Falconic has specified in chat the silver bracelets were buffed to 20 absorb. So that's 5 more than the usual, and that's great, honestly, especially for the stage of the game. And to get through something like this, a pack of wizards always hit hard.
Yeah, no kidding. You almost rather see sorcerers in the early game when touch effects are shuffled.
Oh, speaking of touch effects, we're actually on randomized status attacks. Now, I don't know if there's been major work done to that flag to reduce the variance of like how many of the bad touches can roll, but I know in my experience playing with it, you can see multiple death touches, multiple stone touches, etc. And you can get the mute touch, which does not exist in vanilla.
Yeah, the mute touch sucks, and trolls have toxic, so this is not a fun fight to get out of. Luckily, dem0nfr0g did save his big grind earlier, so it's not going to be that painful, but going down to 1, and this is not looking good. Gets out, but he's going to try and walk it out. I do not believe we've seen life yet, so these battle wizards will be able to cast it, but you got to find it first. And unfortunately, we have not found Elfland.
Yeah, we had a question in chat if this is the first time there's ever been a new class created for the randomizer. Like yes and no, in that people make independent hacks like this and do special kinds of ROMs and showcases a lot. People will play games with, modified base ROM to spice things up, changing equipment permissions and all that. And of course, there have been plenty of ROM hacks out there in Final Fantasy for years, but this is the first of this kind, of having this battle mage concept incorporated with other known features of the randomizer and expected to be run kind of as you would run the randomizer normally.
Yeah. So creeps have fire and glare, and they're definitely casting, and once again, when you find them in packs of 9, your survivability is not looking so good without a ribbon.
Oh yeah, there won't be any reprieve from bad mobs, because the screen's going to be full of them every time.
Yeah, so in case we haven't made it clear, the formations have been purposefully buffed up. Maybe I'll let Falconic say in chat what he told us. But, these mobs have been busy. There's lots of them. We got the other side of Titan's Trove and Marsh.
Cool, so we've seen both sides of that, but no Ruby. Yeah, so the formations will max out the screen every time, and the runners didn't know that going into the seed.
Steel Golem pointing out in chat that we found the Zeus Gauntlet, and that will cast a free lit 3, and yes, that is correct. So that free lit 3 is real nice, because now we have Ice, we have lit 3, and we have Harm 3 or 4, so we have a way to get through most packs at this point, unless something has really high MDef, and we'll need to either swing, which we don't really have much to swing right now, or...
Except that Maza.
Oh yeah, we got a single Maza. I was thinking of the mage weapons, but yes, we do have a Maza, so one person can swing.
Yeah, so as far as we've been told, there haven't been any modifications to the Maza. It's still the thing you really, really, really want to have on and can equip with any permissions. So if it comes down to a situation where you need to buff a melee to get through one of those late clamped boss fights, we at least have that to rely on.
Yeah. Not much in Gaia, and Gaia and Melmon's not exactly what you want, but we haven't found a bottle yet, but always nice to know. The nice thing is that they will be able to buy these gold bracelets and pro rings, though, in their vanilla location. Maybe Falconic can give us the goods on the gold bracelet stats. Gold bracelet's already pretty good armor, but in this particular seed, it's going to be even better than normal.
Ooh, NPC guillotines on. Sorry, I just love seeing those dragons disappear. What good have they ever done for us besides get in the way of our treasures?
Dragons, mermaids, bats, they can all be guillotined. Gold bracelets with 28 absorb, so that is absolutely fantastic. Definitely going to up the survivability of these battle wizards, as they do not... They seem to have some additional health, but not a ton. We're not looking like fighters here.
Yep. Now I see... I don't know if they were going to go so far as to experiment with this, like the offhand sort of gear. I don't know if caps or gloves or anything like that were buffed. Falconic didn't tell me that directly, but I would have at least been looking at my inventory and my status screen, like, ooh, do gloves do anything more? Do caps do anything more?
Get the bucklers out.
And we got the ShadowWalker here down to one knee and 2 dead characters against this huge screen full of arachnids. But Fire 2 should be... Oh, wait, nope, the cremate comes out, and that's another wipe.
Ugh, gross. Demon-Frog, meanwhile, finding the fire floor, which is always nice because you get to know where both carry and get an incentive check here.
And confirming from Falconic in chat, if the Black Mage can... Or sorry, the Blattle Mage can equip it, then it has been buffed. So keep an eye out for heads-up plays to equip some of those niche equipment items.
ShadowWalker finding the less than greater than floor. Get a nice 6 chests here.
4 blue dragons is terrifying. Also, why are we fighting? Wait, is this an unrunnable? But yeah, we should be throwing out fire magic there, because they resist ice, but they're weak to fire. And I think even across Fire 2 to Ice 3, you'll come out ahead casting Fire 2 there.
Demon Frog finding the canoe in the fire incentive check. So that's definitely a nice pickup, and that opens up a ton more entrances. That canoe is especially important as northern progression, as we mentioned, extended northern progression is off. So that opens up... actually, no, it doesn't. We still need the floater.
Well, we don't have canal either, right? So it opens up 3 more inner sea locations is the big thing. So we get 1 more town and 2 more entrances, volcano and ice.
Demon Frog has found the canal. He's in
Okay,
he's
sorry,
in,
I was looking at the tracker there, didn't have it open.
Yeah, but... And these are not vanilla bosses.
This is 3 carries instead of 1 carry. Okay. So we're gonna put that off maybe. We want that 100% golden experience boost. We don't want it badly enough to torture ourselves with that fight without like multiple nuke casters or something.
I was wondering, so boss scaling is clamped at 100 to 130, and I was wondering, like, you know, for a special, why are the boss clamps like not that high? The max only at 130. If you're gonna have 3 of them, that is not a 130 clamp. That is
setting for ShadowWalker.
Yeah, that's nasty. Oh, get those gloves on.
Yeah, put those gloves on. I want to see this. Alright, so the ribbon's going on someone. Top character. He's actually already got a full suite of gloves, so ShadowWalker knows what's up.
So far we found Warmac, or sorry, not Warmac. We found Carrie and Tiamat, neither of which I think these runners want anything to do with at this point.
And for posterity, I will check our Warmac flag. I didn't. It's patrolling. Okay.
So you can choose to fight it or not. Oh man, ShadowWalker just found a cat claw.
Oh baby. Well, yeah, we can't equip that till promotion, but I'm looking forward to seeing someone swing a cat claw.
Yeah, I mean the cat claw, not usually something that makes people all that excited, but in this particular seed, I think you're going to be pretty excited to get that cat claw on your battle mages.
Yeah, the last time it was truly exciting was before weapon fixes were a common flag in the randomizer, because when you're using the index value of the weapons for their crit rate, things end up with weirdly high ones if they just happen to be sort of later in the game's inventory. Things like the Thor hammer and Cat Claw and Bane Sword had absurdly high crit rates in vanilla.
dem0nfr0g finding the other side of Mirage. Gonna get to check out Mirage 1. Oh, we're gonna go right past it to see what is lower, but he'll definitely be back.
These Chimeras are pretty killable, by the way. That looks like a great pack to fight. So ShadowWalker getting out with that ribbon and a ton of experience. Yeah, it's a really good progress for him.
dem0nfr0g definitely with a little bit of an exploration advantage here, though. I think he's cleared out most of the things that dem0nfr0g that ShadowWalker has, except for maybe not going quite as far into that Mirage floor.
Yeah, exploration lead in entrance floor shuffle, it's kind of a squishy concept, right? Because sometimes you can explore things that don't actually end up mattering. Like you can get deep into a dungeon and there's just nothing down there, in which case it's actually lost time. Really, you're looking for kind of a steady forward momentum of like, is this person successful everywhere they go? Have they gotten levels and gear that will make it so that, you know, their subsequent dives are going to be better? And I think ShadowWalker's done more on that front.
Yeah, absolutely. dem0nfr0g also taking on these Chimeras. Should be getting some good EXP. Yeah, and once again, we do have 0 loose in this flag set, so checking chests for items, but you're not, there's not going to be a floater hiding out in the wilderness.
Yep, and shops are vanilla, as we said before, so cat claws are going to be able to be bought in Gaia whenever that's found. So if you, post-promotion are planning to fully outfit your battle mages, you can do it from the shops. So the random chests, they can't contain our incentive gear. The incentive gear today is the opal bracelet and the 2 colored shirts. There could be a random defense, a random power gauntlet out there, but being on random treasures, we're not actually guaranteed those things. So it's kind of a hope and a prayer opening this many chests, really.
Yeah. ShadowWalker finding that first ribbon, though, definitely a big positive for him, as you said, with random gear and stuff. That's something that you're very worried. dem0nfr0g finding a 2-way split. Pretty deep into a dungeon, getting Q blocked immediately, but it looks like he's going to check the spike tile. 4 Hydras, not exactly what you're looking for.
Yeah, he's got that Q block. Doesn't have a good curve, though. Doesn't have the Skullaminari coming out on 5 into the Demonic Lackey on 6. Hearthstone jokes.
Medusa casting Thunder, not exactly what you want to see when you're dealing with 6 of them. And that was this is a pretty deep dungeon, so he's got to go a long way back. Gonna go check the other side of Marsh.
It's nice to have your splits A near the surface and B not lead to other splits and entrance to shuffle, because how often do they roll in the same dungeon? It's ridiculous.
Oh my goodness, yeah, like Marsh into sea or something is not what you want to see whatsoever. And yeah, Gaia was in Melmond, so we will be able to get all our endgame gear, and we've already been seeing that with these gold bracelets and pro rings. But they can also get those cat claws once they promote. And 21,000, not too bad. They'll definitely be able to afford a few of those. Steel Golem pointing on in chat that yes, the Pro stands for Protect. Protect Cape, Protect Ring. And the Pro Ring, as good as you're going to get for any character, and the Pro Cape's as good as we're going to get for these battle mages.
Ooh, Saber. So Saber is one of those things that could have been sort of a saving grace of like a melee strat endgame for this party. It did roll at level 8 though, so they're going to have to seriously level up and be post-promotion if they want charges for that as sort of the backup to no Power Gauntlet being in the item pool.
Yeah, and that no Power Gauntlet being in the item pool is a very serious concern. dem0nfr0g finding ordeals in ice, so going to be clearing this out and getting to another incentive location. ShadowWaker, meanwhile, going to be checking a few things, finding this carry floor, and we'll have to see. He's definitely going to check the incentive, but will he try and take on carry? I would guess yes, because it's such a quick check, and he will be greeted.
See if
he'll be greeted. Yeah, and he will be greeted by the three-headed dragon of carry, I guess.
So that triple carry fight, I mean, I'm assuming those are all carry ones, and we haven't been like tricked into pre-fighting carry twos. If that's the case, those have 600 to 1800 HP.
Yes.
You know, stats notwithstanding, if you can take a couple of hits, and you can like get a few swings in there with, I don't know, it's kind of hard to construct a scenario where they get through that without nuke or fade.
Yeah.
But the fade charges are coming soon.
I completely agree. I think it's not quite yet, but something that will come. And once again, orb scaling is 100%. So not only is taking that fight good to win the game, you're also going to get a serious EXP boost. So Sorcerer's luck not so bad, especially considering there's just a single black battle mage left here. Gonna check this incentive chest.
Ooh,
and gets the floater.
Wow, alright, that is now a big exploration advantage, because now dem0nfr0g is 2 vehicles ahead, and the one in particular he just got is going to let him fly and just knock out entrances. Bang, bang, bang.
Yeah. The floater especially important is right now we have I believe include dead ends is on in this entrance floor shuffle, which just makes the floater even more important to find early, as you can just check all those Cardia aisles, and each of them is an individual entrance rather than just having the 4.
Also, our runners still following their fundamentals, even though this is kind of a goofy race. They're doing their encounter manipulation on the overworld, saving often. And frankly, with mobs this scary, I would be absolutely doing what dem0nfr0g is doing. Low encounter rates, though.
Yeah, the encounter rates are down, which is always nice. A big flag that I appreciate the more that I use it. When you're playing, a bracket seed or even like a Swiss seed, and then you go back to something that you're playing for fun and you move the encounter rates down, 0.2 or 0.3, it makes a huge difference. Yeah,
now did Shadow bother to save before checking carry? I hope he did, because that's just a decent amount of progress that you lose. Yeah, he did not. Oh no, maybe he did. He's going back.
I think he did. He just wants to, do a round 2, but I don't think he has the survivability.
Yeah, they were hitting for 7 hits.
I don't think these. I don't know. Falconic will have to tell us, but I don't even know if these runners know what the. I assume they would know what the flag set is.
Oh, because he has multiple fade charges on every black mage, so. But fade. I mean, fade. It's not nuke ultimately, right? The damage range is lower. So even if all 8 of these fades go off, like that might not be enough.
Yeah, like 1800 HP is really hard to get through with a bunch of fades, and this is the last cast, so this is going to be make or break. They do have a Massa Wielder, but I think hopefully that Massa Wielder was not in slot A.
This Focus Fire has been interesting, though. It is allowing us to actually spread out and get more of the fades off. Yeah, this might not have been the thing to spend the time on if Shadow was really making a serious go at it.
Yeah, I think Shadow just smelt the EXP boost, and he wants it badly, but
yeah, we need a little bit more HP. Like the gear's good, but we need to be able to survive multiple rounds of attacks from carries. Meanwhile,
I mean,
Demon Frog has just been, knocking out more and more entrances. Did get Caneria Castle, I saw, and picked up a crown from the king. So kind of a reverse crown there, sort of from vanilla. You're taking a crown away from a king.
absolutely. So ShadowWalker's trying Invis 2 strats. He only has Invis 2 on 2 of his mages. I was going to say he can get up to max evade in a round and a half if he had it on all 4, but we'll have to see if this works. Demon Frog, meanwhile, about to knock out these Cardia checks. Finds Garland, going to get the princess, and he's already found Canaria Castle. So we'll get another incentive check there.
Yep. Garland, even when you clamp him, doesn't do much. So Garland instead. And I was going to say, finding Temple of Fiends also is just really critical on Entrance Floor Shuffle, right? Sometimes it's in a very obscure spot like Ordeals, which is like one of the last places you go on Entrance Floor Shuffle. So it's good to know where you're headed once you're in go mode.
Yeah, or like Lefane, if it's shuffled towns, is also not very much fun. Hey, guess what we just found? We got the crown. And now we have the key, which is always nice to find it when you're in like Dwarves or Northwest Castle to get those immediate checks.
Yeah, we'll probably want spike tiles. We'll want to find something that's a good, solid, safe grind that can get a team of battle mages up quickly. We'll also want to find maybe a few more treasures, but really it's going to be the spike tiles is the big yield from that key.
Yeah, so chat pointing out that ShadowWalker looks like he's gonna. This fight's looking good. The Massa doing some serious work, and these carries do nothing but punch, it seems. So getting those Invis 2 charges out, getting up to max evade, seems to be a winning strategy here. And that Massa's, I think, was doing about 500 damage, it looked like. So this fight will end.
Nice. And any of the late fiends, or actually, and the fiend ones as well, there is a chance that they don't roll any spells or skills. It's uncommon. They will usually have at least one of a spell list or skill list. But sometimes they're all physical, which makes evasion stacking strats really, really powerful.
4 red Ds, not the best spike tile, but considering Ice 3 is our primary magic we have right now, not a bad place. And ShadowWalker getting that orblet.
Just doubled his. I mean, it didn't count for that fight because he hadn't actually lit the orb yet, but he's now just doubled his experience and gold gain from that point.
Yeah, so for those of you who are not familiar with like 100% orbs, it is, as he said, it's literally double. So any grind that Demon Frog does from now on is going to be half as fast as anything ShadowWalker does. So we're hopefully for Demon Frog's sake, he just takes a couple safety levels and then gets out of the way. And I have to assume that's what he'll be doing, as he does know that this is 100% orbs.
Yeah, it's also funny that with all these mages that can cast white magic, there's not been any life magic, so we're still like going to clinics. But we haven't found Elfland yet, and Elfland is going to unlock a lot of that accessible early game magic that we've been missing.
Absolutely, Elfland is just something that you always want to see. Elfland and Provoca in Town Shuffle, your two best friends. And at this point, we know it's either Onrak, Lefane. I believe, has he checked Gaia yet?
Don't think so.
Yeah, okay. Sometimes Gaia is just the first thing you go to after getting the floater, but I think he went elsewhere.
Yeah, with floater and canoe in there's another fiend floor. Wow, that's 3 already. With floater and canoe in hand, and knowing that towns are shuffled to each other, I would be knocking out all the towns to get the not only the magic, but also I believe we haven't seen Crescent Lake, and that's a key item.
Yeah. We also haven't found our shop item, so Demon Frog checking the Oasis vendor, and finds a French vanilla item here. Gets the herb.
It was always going to be an item there at the Oasis, but which one was going to be shuffled?
And ShadowWalker finds a Warmac.
Wait, hang on. That doesn't look patrolling to me. Also, it rolled unrunnable, which is just horrifying. And also, there's the flag that's like first strike and surprise on unrunnables is on, so it's going to be possible to get first stricken by or surprised by, or to first strike fiends and things like that in this run.
I'm a little surprised right now that Demon Frog doesn't want to take on Lich. But maybe he is a little spooked by the triple carry monstrosity and wants to get a few safety things first. Meanwhile, ShadowWalker taking on this Warmech wants this EXP, and once again, he's already got an orb, so he's going to get double from this one.
Yeah, and he's gonna be okay into physical damage, but only one ribbon out there resisting elemental damage, and then just nothing to be done if Nuke and Nuclear come out. This team will wipe.
Yeah, Warmech in the second set of Fiends pools, so lots of scary stuff. I mean, to be fair, it's mostly Warmech's fault that the Fiend pool is so scary. So he could
Yeah,
just have some vanilla Nuclear. Okay, I like this from dem0nfr0g. Going to go take on Lich.
Yeah, so there's intentionally some stuff that even the commentary was not told beforehand, and I think this might have been one of them. It looks like Bridge of Destiny is all unrunnable Warmechs, and it didn't matter that it was the patrolling flag.
The patrolling flag was a lie. The cake is a lie. Lich, there's 4 of them, and they're all phantoms.
I saw that and I was like, what? 4-eye tile? Oh, wait, never mind.
Oh man, could you imagine a 4-eye tile? That'd be great.
Yeah. It would really get beat up on a playground, that's for sure. But the quad liches here, actually one of the easiest things to fight because Harm 4 works on them. So that's available in high quantities at low levels. Blizzard, probably one of the scarier things in the Fiend 1 pool, but not going to slow down dem0nfr0g, who kills the liches and lights an orb. So actually ties up that orb lead with ShadowWalker, and now they both get the EXP boost.
Yeah, as Fizzle pointing out, 4 speed bumps, so he just took down the moguls. Yeah, so, and also, like, this early Fiends, like, the base HP matters a lot when you have 300% clamped boss HP, because Lich with only 400 in the vanilla game, 1200 you're dealing with the spell charges they had available no matter what. ShadowWalker, did he wipe there, or did he...
No, he walked out, which means the kill happened, which means it was saved, and now he's got a lot more levels, because all his mages are... Wait a minute!
What? Poor Garlands.
Okay, dem0nfr0g did check this incentive Canaria location here with his key, so we got the loot out of Canaria locked. Also, Princess was here. Did he talk to the Princess yet? Oh, now he goes to talk to the Princess, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
so yeah, this was a 2 key item boon coming back here. Gets the Adamant, the fetch quest off the Princess.
Yeah, so for those of you who are not familiar with floor entrance shuffle, the necessity of Oxale and Chime and Cube and Rod is not the same as it would be in the basic game. So, key loot, he could technically be in go mode right now. And he wouldn't know it because he hasn't found all of the Fiends, but he's already found 3 of them. So if he finds Kraken, that could be it. He could just clear out nothing else.
Yep, and we don't need to hunt down key items the way you normally do because that's not our experience scaling. And hey, look, it's Elfland! So it's time to find, not Nuke yet, but Fire 3 and Warp, not bad. Warp especially good in entrance or shuffle.
Yep, exactly what I was going to say. And taking on, okay, only 2 Tiamats.
That's at least a reprieve.
So we got
Though
4.
It would be funny if the formation was random and actually like it was 1 to 4 or something, and they just didn't realize because they kept getting 3s every time.
Okay, so big pickups here. We have Life 2 and Cure 4 at level 3 here. So a little annoying they share a slot, but early enough that it shouldn't matter, especially with 4 casters.
Yeah. Now, that I think you leave behind Fire 3 actually. Well, no, you only need like 2 warps. So maybe 2 warps, 2 Fire 3s, and then the rest Cure 4s and Life 2s.
I completely agree. Yeah, I think everyone gets the double duty Cure 4, Life 2, especially, you know, in this particular seed.
With
but
AoE being redundant and found on castable items, like you don't need as many.
Yeah. Notably, no nuke so far, so we're hoping to see it here in level 4 for our runner's sakes. And there it is.
Alright, so it didn't roll into... level 7 was kind of the trolliest last spot we could have seen it, maybe. Actually, have we seen Lefane? Could have been that slot.
Yeah,
but it's not.
We haven't seen Temper yet either, have we? Because we saw Saber, I know it's level 8.
Yeah, we have Fast and we know of Saber. Also, ShadowWalker, he's down. Just the ribbon wearer now, ribbon/Maza wielder, might be able to tough this out. One of the Tiamats is down.
Tia doing some pretty scary things though, and he does have Cure 3. These battle mages being able to use both life and nuke, you know. Kind of the yin and yang mage, if you call it that, being able to use both black and white magic.
Yeah, I mean, they're just better red mages, like in just about every way, I think. In the way that they've been buffed for this particular run.
And ShadowWaker takes down Tia. That was an impressive win there. Definitely making some adjustments to his strats, knowing what's going on, and I've been liking the adjustments he's been making.
Yep. So he's got 2 orbs to Demon Frog's 1. Demon Frog has seen a lot more entrances, a lot more towns, and has that vehicle lead and that quote-unquote go mode or potential go mode lead. But these Fiend fights are no joke, and just getting them under your belt is going to make everything faster.
So if we're looking at Fiends that are, you know, doubled or tripled, Topher is going to be an absolute nightmare. Because you could be, you know how in the community we call it, you know, double nuke. And what does double nuke mean? Well, double nuke means nuke turn 1, nuke turn 2. We could be seeing the legendary double or triple nuke on the first turn with turn order.
Yeah, which is something that normally only happens on the final bosses. For people familiar with that flag, there are different formations for the chaos fight that are seen in some flag sets. So this reminds me the most of the double dragon fight, which features a carry 2 and a Tia 2.
So notably right now we have not found the tail. That is something that, you know, because that will allow the cat claw to be equipable, definitely a nice pickup. Also will allow the different shirts to be equipable.
Yeah,
and the shirts are incentivized.
Yeah, those are incentivized, but we haven't found any of them yet, if I've been paying attention.
Nope. And we have a double X-Cal seed. This is exactly the flag set with, you know, this particular party that you want to see 2 X-Cals.
Of course.
I feel like Meridian did that on purpose. Just like purposely put in 2 X-Cals. You know, said everything can be random, but I'm going to make sure there's 2 X-Cals for this Battle Mage seed.
At the very least, like, any madness that's thrown at us endgame will get smoothed over by the fact that everyone's probably going to be level 50 with that ridiculous experience. So even the level 9 magic, the Sabers, will have 36 copies of Saber. And the Black Mages will be fairly interchangeable, or sorry, Battle Mages will be fairly interchangeable. So like if one of them goes down, it's just a slogfest of a TOFR, you use all your life charges, whatever, there's still going to be backup characters.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, 4 life casters, 4 cure 4 casters can never complain about things like that. Lord Fizz will be asking in chat that are there equipment permissions changed? And the answer is no, although the equipment itself has been modified. Most of it buffed in minor ways, kind of just stat changes, but some of it's been buffed a little bit more. Thank goodness we have nukes for these waters.
Speaking of tail, Sarda handed it over. These waters, oh my god. Like, I hate clamped like wild trash mobs to begin with, and then there are waters, and then normally, unless you're in TOFR, you only see like 2 to 3 of them.
Yeah,
exactly. But seeing 9, that's just gonna be such a drain. Oh, that's right. Unrunnable formations aren't shuffled, so that's why that was unrunnable.
Unrunnable waters. That's terrible. And we have the spider floor here, so this is going to have an incentive location, and Demon Frog's going to let us know what that is right now. And it is the Oxyale.
Okay. That gets us into the Onrak dungeon, so whatever we go to Onrak, that's 1 extra entrance or sequence of floors potentially to look at.
This fight is also just terrible. 6 airs and 2 Nagas. Why?
This is even worse. Yeah, because you're used to seeing the Naga water formation come out as like the formation 8 in TOFR water floor, but this is worse than that because airs are just one of the most obnoxious mobs in the entire game. They roll tons of HP, they barely give you experience, they're super hard to hit. Like, there's nothing good about airs.
Yeah, airs suck. Airs are, you know, airs and kilos are just like the worst. Why do they exist? Why? Who would ever fight them unless they're like forced unrunnable? ShadowWaker checking out Lefane. I don't know if we've seen the magic here, so I'd be curious if like Temper is here. Now, Temper, not as big of a deal in this one with the Battle Mages. Saber would be nice as well, but we already know that Saber's level 8.
Yeah, we don't want Temper and Saber to share a level please.
Okay.
Cool. It's just happened. So Temper is probably level 6 at the, I'm going to say Lefane location, Crescent Lake we haven't seen.
I believe that is correct at this point. Demon Frog clearing out Earth 2. I'm curious to see, if you're in Demon Frog shoes, how many more chests would you be checking? You kind of know there's some funky business going on. You haven't found notably the defense or the power bonk, but you don't even know if they exist. I think Demon Frog hasn't found a ribbon, though.
That's right, because he hasn't done the less than greater than room. Ribbon is a big one that I want, if it even exists. Otherwise, because of the magic being how it is, you can mass stack evasion from your spells. So defense and white shirt take a little bit of a hit in terms of like needing to pull those out. And additionally, he's seen the level 8 Saber, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if you actually checked the Gaia shops. Shadow did. But level 8 Saber kind of almost obviates the power gauntlet.
Yeah. Okay, so Falconic given a little away in chat that the white-black shirts have been changed, and they are incredibly important late-game armor. So the runners do know that they're wanting to find those. And we're going to get a check here with the Marsh. Actually, Marsh is not incentivized, so this is just going to be a normal item.
Oh, sorry, I was talking as though the white shirt was in the treasure pool. It's in the incentive pool, and that actually, I think, means that there can be none in the treasure pool.
I believe that's correct, yeah. And no, it does not cast Invis 3. There is no Invis 3. Though, I mean, go hit up One Fine Day about Invis 3. I'm sure he'll have something to say about it.
Yeah, we've seen in the Spellcrafter, I think it's called, Spellomizer, the Spellcrafter flags. That is another sort of alpha beta feature of the randomizer, that if you make any like party-wide invis stacking that's better than the standard invis 2, it just becomes OP. It stacks way too quickly.
Yeah, max of 8 is already pretty good, and if you can get there in one turn, it's really good. So we have Lock. I would definitely be picking up Lock.
Is that the vanilla slot for break?
I think it's level 7 vanilla. Yeah, I think it's there. I'm not 100% sure. So Hot Fuzz asking in chat, is the spring tourney still going on? Yes, the spring tourney is going on, and brackets actually start up this week. Our first matches are scheduled for tomorrow. So come check that out on Speed Gaming and Random Mania. And there'll be plenty of exciting Final Fantasy randomizer action going on. You'll get to see some more town shuffles if that's your jam.
Did we decide that filling the screen with whiz vamps would be unfair, and so that there are only 6 of them instead of 9? Because that's not a full screen.
Yeah, maybe their sprites are a little different sized. I'm not 100% sure.
It's probably a what do you call it? Going easy on them. Like, that's the only thing I can imagine, because whiz vamps are frightening.
Perhaps. Though, I mean, nothing about this flag seems to have it going easy on them, but maybe there was some testing done and being like, whiz vamps, they have too much HP to one round, and they can take down your entire party if, you're not ready, so...
Yeah, when you were saying the spring tournament bracket rounds start tomorrow, I was like, wait, no, they don't start until Monday. Monday is tomorrow, but time isn't real anymore, so I have no idea what day it is.
Yeah, time's fake. Demon Frog seeing like, hey, look, there's a war mech here that I can go fight to. I'm sure the Bridge of Destiny is safe. Little does you know.
Alright, a dead end has just been cleared out at the on-rack dungeon location, so not important. Or no, what is that?
ShadowWaker about...
Was that the was on-rack vanilla?
Yes, on-rack was vanilla.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say, he walked out of a town, and towns are clearly towns, but he was in a dungeon, and he was at on-rack, so that was the on-rack dungeon.
Yeah, and ShadowWaker about to go into Ice Cave, which will lead to his floater. Something of note here is that Demon Frog's been in the air for 20-30 minutes, probably?
Demon Frog was about to maybe make the veteran move and go check the linked chest in this floor, but he didn't. He went back towards the carries. He also didn't unstone that extra black mage for some casts plus some meat shielding. And he's going to go full nuke strats rather than Invis-stack Missile. This might fail, and we'll see him adjust accordingly, similar to how ShadowWaker did.
Yeah, unfortunately, I just don't think this... I guess nuke is a lot faster than Ice 3, but this seems very dangerous to me. Like, this nuke's not going to do it. I think he's still at least 2 nukes away. I think we're going to see the adjustment here, though, as he realizes just how punch-happy these carries are. ShadowWaker
Still not unstoning that other battle mage. And honestly, like I get the level funneling in the early goings, but with how powerful each of these characters is or are, having 4 up to all cast something useful, especially for boss fights, seems critical.
Yeah, for sure. Something I say a lot with casters is that, you know, with casters, you want to get your spells out quickly, and getting spell slots, you get more spell slots by having more casters up rather than having a few higher level casters. So, you know, Topher's a little bit of a different story because you need the health, but for anything before that, having 4 casters up at reasonable levels is going to do a lot more damage and be a lot more survivable and a lot safer, and have just a lot more charges than having fewer higher level ones.
Exactly. In a traditional melee and caster binary, you want fewer higher leveled melees and more just like average leveled casters.
Yes.
Exactly. But with battle mages, they're all so good. I would just kind of want to level them all, and it's going to be pretty easy with this scaling.
dem0nfr0g deciding carry is too hard, so wants to take on Tia instead. Getting greeted with the War Max, and he, as Falconic's pointing out, Demon does not appear to have picked up Invis 2, and that's going to be, difficult. Does have at least 1 slot for it, but definitely something that he's going to want to pick up soon, or else he's going to be in for a world of hurt. And there's 9 vampires.
Yeah, this is a mini boss bridge, apparently. Not exclusively War Max, as we saw that Garland formation earlier in this vampire formation. dem0nfr0g getting kind of beat around here, but he might need to get through at least one of these, because I don't know what this table looks like. If he keeps resetting and it just rotates between these 3, he'll keep getting like a War Mech or whatever. So he needs to actually make some progress here if he wants to get all the way to Tiamat.
Yeah, unfortunately, you know, Bridge of Destiny having different has a different locations where you get encounters, so you can't just, you know, memorize the encounter table and then just be like, oh, okay, on here I'm going to have a long enough walk to get past the entire Bridge of Destiny. And ShadowWaker picks up his floater.
Yep, so ShadowWaker, he's going to start trying to make back that ground in the exploration, because he just essentially last locationed his progression there. And I totally expect that he can. He's someone with a high execution caliber, and he's going to definitely know how to narrow down his go mode the way that entrance floor shuffle does, as you mentioned earlier. Meanwhile, dem0nfr0g is on that 2 Tiamats, not the Tiamat 2, but the 2 Tiamats fight.
Nice, I like that. Yeah, I think one big advantage ShadowWaker might have is if dem0nfr0g only has 1 person with a slot left and can only get a single Invis 2 cast. Okay, he has one slot that I've seen so far. If he only has a single slot for Invis 2, that's going to be extremely dangerous going into Topher, because being able to get those Invis stacks up so much quicker is going to be key. Especially if, like,
not Tavern mode, so we can't reset these mages.
Yeah, especially if, like, the white shirt is not in a friendly location. As we said, they have all the items right now that they need to beat Temple of Fiends Revisited. Assuming Kraken is not, like, Q-blocked or Chime-locked or Rod-locked.
Yeah, and unfortunately, like, these Tiamats, they roll between 1,000 and 3,000 HP, like, just going in there barreling with nukes is not going to do it, especially with only 2 to 3 casters as opposed to a full team.
Looks like he might get bailed out here.
It's true. Yeah. I guess the Cure 4s are kind of keeping him up. I was going to say, he also didn't wall. If you start out by walling, the Fiend 1 becomes so much less scary. He actually does take him down with just the 2 casters. So maybe Tiamat rolled on the low end of that 1,000 to 3,000 spectrum. Maybe somewhere in the 1,500 range?
Yeah, I was going to say, I was counting nukes, and it was probably around 1,500. So, not the worst. Wait, dem0nfr0g dem0nfr0g is calling the War Mechs to him, using some dang strats.
Okay, I respect this. He wants to really just jack up those bottom 2 mages. They're getting the extra plus 200% now. He wants to get someone up to, like, the 40s.
Yeah. Something I really like, though, is the fact that he did this after he got the Orblit. So, just way more effective. Not 100% each time, but in this case, you know, 2/3 or 1/3 more effective.
Yep.
Don't quote me, no Twitch math.
Yeah, the big yield, the big payoff right now of the extra levels is going to be the HP, and oh god, wait, hang on, this formation. What is this formation? Wait, Shadows, what? There are 2 ghosts paired with, or 2 phantoms paired with the ghosts in Sea Shrine?
I guess ghosts or phantoms are just like hidden behind the ghosts, and you just never get a large enough formation to get them in vanilla. This is ghosts suck though. I hate ghosts, and this is even worse than just like the 2 to 6 ghosts or 2 to 5 ghosts that you get in C normally.
Okay, Falconic says that that's actually in the game data. There is a B-side formation unused that doesn't even get shuffled in on B-side tiles when we play the rando. That is 2 phantoms, 6 ghosts or something, or maybe it's like 2 to 4 ghosts.
Maybe like the whiz vamps were a concession to only have 6 of them. Maybe the devs were like, you know what? These guys don't need 2 phantoms, 6 ghosts in their life. So Will Bloodbirth asking, is that what's on the vanilla chaos floor?
Wow, that's so funny. Alright, so Demon Frog looks to be in a Mirage Tower floor. If this is less than greater than, he's close to his... In fact, Blue Dragons would only spawn on this floor anyways. Maybe on the next one too, on the Q block, but so he looks to be close to his ribbon.
Yeah, and he's going to be so happy to see that. I feel like, I mean, maybe Demon Frog doesn't know, or, but one ribbon's got to be one of the last things that you're looking for, opening up chests. I still think those incentive items are going to be so key, just knowing how powerful the black and the white shirt will be, but chests are just such a gamble with the random loot. And you can spend a lot of time fighting a lot of giant mobs. And another thing about giant mobs is not only are they scarier, they also just take longer to kill, because you're just constantly each of them takes a turn. Every spell you cast has to go off 9 times. Even if that spell's nuke, it's still just like each step you're taking is costing a lot more time than it would if they were just vanilla mobs.
So while that is exciting for Demon right there, Shadow did find Bahamut at the bottom of the Matoya's cave, getting past those ridiculous formations. So he's got a promoted party. That's pretty big. There's a little bit of extra spell permissions for late, but the important part here is the Cat Claw is finally equipable, so we're going to see what kind of damage it does. And also these battle mages, their level ups have been jacked up, so you're seeing HP that well outpaces vanilla black mages if you're paying attention. They're already up in the 400s for both players.
Yeah, usually you have your level 30 black mage with 300 HP. Not the case here, and he knows right away that Cat Claw and Gaia get them for everyone, and you have true battle mages now swinging ferocious weapons. Massa, Cat Claw, exactly what everyone's endgame weapons look like in the vanilla game. And I think this shop, have we already checked this? Is this where Temper? Oh no, Saber was here, right? This was the level 8 Saber.
But yeah, there was a massive buff for the crit rate on the Cat Claw. Now that we can equip them and actually talk about them, so we're actually going to be able to punch through just about anything, assuming we're getting our swings in.
Yeah,
so we'll still need to do stuff like lock and all that.
Cat Claw has 150% the crit rate of the Vorpal. So this is higher than what you would see in the vanilla game. In the fixed stats, it has a higher crit rate than anything that you've seen. Even higher than a +5 in Blurst. So you're looking at some huge crit opportunities. However, without Temper or Saber, the Cat Claw is still not going to be doing tons of damage like vanilla. So we're definitely going to need to find that, get those levels for Saber and get that Temper.
Yep, and Rod was just picked up, and I was going to say we haven't seen that Earth incentive floor yet. So that floor is kind of a fun one to run into in Entrance Floor Shuffle for 2 reasons. There's an incentive chest, and it's kind of a place you often end up double dipping because you go there without the rod, and you're like, oh, this is the rod lock, I've got to come back. In my luck, it always ends up being a dead end on the other side.
Yep. Key blocks and rod locks are always dead ends. That's just the universal rule of Entrance Floor Shuffle. Except for the one time you're racing and they're not and you forget about it. Man, this fight is actually terrifying. Frost Gators do a lot of damage. Luckily, they got a little bit of extra health, but you don't see them very often, but they do some serious work.
Yeah, someone just spilled some toxic waste into the rivers in Florida, and these things are just multiplying. You do not want to fight these.
We'll get some very good EXP though. Something that can't be understated is these big mobs when you have Nuke and Fade are a really great way to get some levels. Unfortunately, ShadowWaker still has not gotten Nuke, so Fade just taking a little longer through everything.
Okay, Demon Frog finally to Sarda. He will get his tail. This was all the way at Ordeals, kind of an out-of-the-way spot.
I haven't been paying perfect attention, but I'm not 100% sure what Demon Frog has left to check.
Well, he just did a little happy dance, I think, when he got that tail. He was like kind of zigzagging around in Sarda's room.
Yeah, definitely something that he's looking for. But we've seen the Q block. I'm just trying to figure out what entrances he hasn't checked yet. He's kind of done the normal northern loop.
Well, Chime is blocking us from checking Mirage. And
oh, I don't know if he's done like Earth Cave, like vanilla Earth Cave entrance.
Yeah. There have been some areas that neither of them have sort of dedicated time in yet. But hopefully they're taking good notes. Entrance floor shuffle absolutely demands it. This is, if you're someone who tries to run randomizers with everything in your head, this will be the format that changes your mind. And hello, second Mazza! But is second Mazza even good?
I mean,
guess, you know what, it's probably higher hit rate and base damage than a Cat Claw. Yeah, so you put the Cat Claw on for the fiends and Mazza for, like, mobs.
Yeah, the Mazza is going to be better against lower absorb enemies, but and especially if you don't have time to prepare, like, you don't want to cast a bunch of sabers and tempers.
That was pretty competitive. White shirt picked up. We just went into some rock goals, and the Mazza did in the 500 range, and most of the Cat Claws competed with it. So I think we're going to be fine with just these Cat Claws.
Yeah. So let's talk about the white shirt. So we'll give a little bit of some insight into what the white shirt does. So we said it's a pretty buff white shirt, but not only is it buff, it's super buff. So it is equipable by these battle mages. It has 30 absorb, which is just a little bit less than a vanilla opal Cheerio. So the opal bracelet usually has 34, so it has 30 absorb. So we're talking better than gold bracelet stats. And it has 4 of the resistances that the ribbon normally grants. So it doesn't resist fire, ice, lit, or earth, but resists everything else. So it's kind of a bit of a ribbon replacement as well. So not going to help a lot against your large elemental AoEs, but going to do some really good work against all those insta-deaths.
Yeah, it's sort of inverse dragon armor, though that earth resistance does stick out. It means that crack from the late fiends can still land. Crack, of course, can be protected by a rub, which, with all magic available, is purchasable, so, hey, that's a defense. That's it. Wow, that's a non-incentive random defense in the unincentivized, typically incentivized chest in Ice Cave, if you follow that.
With random loot. Yes, that is, what are the odds?
Hey, Demon. Did it not let you equip the white shirt just then?
I'm not quite sure what Demon Frog. What is he?
Oh, yes. Okay, I'm sorry. I was just making sure the game wasn't bugged. Just wanted to make sure that you did know you could equip it. I thought maybe I fucked up something.
We're live.
We're live. You're not promoted. All right. Good luck.
No, I'm just not sure what he's warping around trying to check.
Okay, so sorry about the audio snafu, everyone. That came in through Demon Frog's stream. Falconic was just doing a quick little check-in to make sure that the special stew that we've whipped up for tonight was not broken.
Oh, okay. I didn't have the stream audio on, so I was not entirely sure what was going on. But okay, thank you for that update. So Demon Frog kind of going around ice, gonna get these worms and just get a bunch of levels. So he's got 2 orbs lit, so gonna get some pretty nice EXP here. ShadowWaker finding his second X-Cal.
Yeah, worms are definitely up there in the highest tier of grinds, and if they are closer to the bottom of that clamped HP range, That's a good spot too. We've seen a lot of good grind spots, frankly. And once you've got 4 nuke casters, it kind of doesn't matter. Also, I continue to contend that we'll get level 50 on everyone before we reach the end of this game.
And yeah, I just saw 18,000 EXP. So yeah, we're gonna be getting levels real quick here. And I think it's about 3 or 4 nukes to take out these worms. So we're definitely talking like a reasonably quick grind here.
Yeah.
Yeah, three
one
or 4 nukes.
Nice. It would be a guaranteed 1 round if we had 4 black mages up, but I'll yell at dem0nfr0g about that later.
Yeah, I completely agree in this case that having the 4th black mage up is just like, it's just such a huge increase.
Oh my God, wow. Look at that defense. Coming in, that's 2 of them. Each runner has a defense now.
The big pickup here would be if he finds another ribbon, but the defense gonna be a nice pickup. I think it's actually more important for dem0nfr0g than it is for ShadowWaker. If dem0nfr0g only has 1 Invis 2 caster, we'll have to see if he does, how many slots he actually does have for it. Will Bloodworth putting on a chat that, yeah, you could just grind the War Mech too. War Mech wasn't really that scary and going to be worth a boatload of EXP, and probably go down in maybe 2 to 3 rounds of nukes.
And it's basically next to the surface off of Power Cycle, so super duper safe.
Yeah, I think it was probably 6 nukes or so. Like, War Mech didn't have huge HP.
Yeah, more showcasing of the better spike tile treasure flag, where those defenses were picked up respectively in improved like not loot rate, but like improved magical chance chests compared to just regular checks, and that shows the runners, they know the flags, they know that there's certain chests that are worth going out of the way for, like that.
I don't know about you, Cheese, but I'm loving seeing these battle mages, well, black mage sprites just like hit for 500 each. They just like swing, Catclaw 500, swing, Massa 1 500, swing, Massa 2 500. It's definitely a nice change up instead of just seeing knights all the time.
Yeah, we started out rolling a bit slowly and getting kind of tripped up by Fiend 1s, but now that we've got levels and this promotion gear in the case of ShadowWaker, like the seed's been smoothing out a lot, and I don't know, again, what surprises are in store, or if we're going to see multiple Fiend 2s on the same fight. Ooh, there's another ribbon. If that is the case, this could be a, grind to 50 and pray kind of seed, but if not, I don't think it's going to be too bad. I don't think we're going to be here for 3 hours. It's probably going to be like 2 and change at most.
Yeah, I mean, once again, just the fact that they've already gotten their needed items is going to make that faster, and then the only real question left is Topher.
And this is right, we've already seen that Oxyale. This is an interesting approach to the rando. Like, people have been, some masochists maybe, have been clamoring for much higher scaling to be available than like the 500% clamp ceiling that we currently have, which still has the floor at 100. But if you were to make classes as powerful as this, you could just kind of have an arms race within the development and have the ability to take on 1000% clamp seeds or 500 to 1000% if you could make, overpowered classes that had all the magic and all this buffed gear.
Yeah, it's, going to become a unbreakable shield versus a sword that can pierce anything type of deal, but definitely, I think these classes make it really interesting when you have just so many options. It also just increases the decision space a lot. You can do a lot of different things, and I think something that's been really interesting is that those slots really matter. I mean, you already get that with Red Wizards, but now that they have all the magic available for them at level 1 and level 3 and level 4, they really have to figure out what they want when you have a few stack levels.
No, I can't wait for, if this sticks, I can't wait for, like, vanilla-ish runs. So you can run the randomizer in vanilla-ish settings that are, like, all the bug fixes and slightly better experience scaling, and all the speed hacks and stuff. So vanilla-ish with Battle Mage, and solo Battle Mage just for kicks, just to see how fast that run is. Because, it starts slow, but ultimately it's way, way stronger than any of the other solo classes.
Oh man, that is a nice grind spot. Actually, this is just a normal encounter, but 4 Eyes, the legendary 4 Eyes.
Yeah, I don't know how deep this is on this particular floor, but and also how far into the dungeon we are. So the encounter table and dungeon, a little bit both up in question, but gosh, that's a lot of experience. We're into the 30s on ShadowWaker's screen.
Yeah. Then again, once again, with the War Mech just available off Power Cycle on the Bridge of Destiny, not quite as needed as finding some experience. dem0nfr0g did find a split here, so is on C1 or C3 technically.
Yeah, you start in the middle of the dungeon. It's a bit strange.
But yeah, ShadowWaker going to take as many of these eye fights as he can get. It's interesting that I guess ShadowWaker hasn't seen Lich, which is why he isn't taken out. But dem0nfr0g hasn't wanted to go back and take on those carries, even though he'd be getting a lot more experience while he's walking around.
Yeah, I think knowing the Fiend locations, once you get to the point where you're secure in how you kill them, and in this case his levels are so good he absolutely could, you still, there's that gap between your current level and 50, and I would have that target in mind, and yeah, he should definitely prioritize that.
Yeah, so dem0nfr0g resetting out after finding that dead end of Marsh, top floor of Marsh. Gonna recheck these chests because he wants that Pro Cape, and then he's gonna be taking the left side C.
Pro Cape's good. That's something that we can't buy in shops. We've been finding a lot of duplicates of things that were already available, like gold bracelets, cat claws, prunes, and so forth. But Pro Cape's unique. They fill up the shield slot, which is not something that you typically expect to on mages in this game, and they've been buffed. As Falconicus said, everything that a black mage or black wizard could normally equip has been buffed in this mode.
Yeah, so 15 absorbed Pro Capes, pretty much all you could ask for.
Yeah, that's in the territory of those Knight Shields, Vanilla Knight Shields, Opal. Yeah, Opal and
16.
Aegis both have 16.
There's no resistances on a Pro Cape, I believe, though. So
that's right.
Just slightly worse, but still, you need all the absorb you can get on these battle wizards or battle mages, I guess, on dem0nfr0g side. Still,
we have seen like 3 dragon armors at least, maybe 4.
Yeah, a couple dragon armors, 2 Excals. We've seen an Aegis Field, I think.
Yep. At this rate, I wouldn't even want a knight. Like, yes, we've got this party full of mages, and yeah, you normally think, well, mages, they're squishier, lower HP, can't deal physical DPS, but they can, so we don't care that we left behind, the concept of a fighter when there's all these Excals and dragon armors floating around.
Yeah, and dem0nfr0g saying, you know what, I'm done with chests. I'm feeling pretty good. And he does indeed find this Earth 3 floor, so he'll get both an incentive check and he will be able to go deeper.
Yep. He did just blitz by a spike tile there, which I think was going to be the rock goals that ShadowWaker saw earlier. That was an improved treasure chest. He could have gone and maybe gotten like another defense.
Or a ribbon, but yeah. Another third defense? Well, who needs white shirts when everyone can just cast their own?
Okay, this is a vanilla formation. I'm pretty sure you can roll 6 oozes and 3 arachnids, and that I've fought a bunch of them recently.
Yeah, but when you probably remember it because they had like Blaze or something.
I remember it because they were like unrunnable, and someone had like damage poison, yeah, that sort of thing.
Yeah, you only remember the formations that are large and have terrible things, or even just like all slow. Like, oh god, like 9 packs with slow are just so painful. Oh, so dem0nfr0g finds Kraken, so this is huge. This means he is officially in go mode.
That's right. Yes. Without collecting any more items, we can get all 4 orbs, and we know where Temple of Fiends is.
So that's some big information, and this is buried quite deep and behind a rod. Now, ShadowWaker has that rod, so it's not like a huge change up here, but that is a very, very good information for dem0nfr0g to have.
Yeah, we're gonna have to rely on this kind of unexpectedly, possibly harder than we imagined TOFR to be an equalizer, I think, at this rate, because dem0nfr0g will likely pick up the orb lead again here and then just blitz over to Lich.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's if he can take on Kraken, he can take on Lich. Though Kraken 1 would be a pushover at this point, but 2 or 3 Krakens gonna hurt a little bit. That shouldn't be any major issue, especially considering these battle with mages have 600 HP. I'm really hoping he does go pick up some Saber, though.
Yeah, this a toxic spam from the lobsters. Annoying, but thankfully we've long since resisted death, so we're just gonna have to waste the time, but it shouldn't be a wipe unless we get a ton of 3 and 256s suddenly rolling. Like if you saw lobsters like this in a typical rando and you hadn't found like purchasable pro rings yet, or they were like 50k or something, you would just be like cursing at yourself, like, I'm not doing Sea Shrine for another 20 levels.
Yeah, never going back. Actually, a nice thing about this is, I mean, I guess these stats are all messed up anyways, but I was thinking, like, at least black mage just have a decent run chance. Can you imagine if they just chose, like, white mage base stats instead, and you just couldn't run from anything for the entire seed? Be awful. Okay, so we have 2 Krakens. They are Nagas, but we have 2. So this should be a very winnable fight. Maxing out at, what, 2400 HP?
These are such good sprites for Kraken. Honestly, this sprite becomes so much more like imposing with this color palette, and also just the fact that it is a boss, because I already really liked the whole Medusa style Naga concept in this game. This is just shoutouts to the sprite choice.
Yeah, it's nice. I've been liking the dragons, yeah, it's been super awesome. Okay, big question. Do we have multiple chaoses coming?
Multiple chaoses. I don't know. I don't know what to expect. I wouldn't put it past him. At the same time, like, chaos is already going to be up to 6,000 HP.
Yeah.
It could be, but it could also be alt final boss, right? Which is already screen filling, like, terrifying formations.
I mean, I think the fact that they set the EXP scaling so high is almost a sign to me to be a little worried about this Topher. You know, you don't need plus 400% EXP for easy, breezy, beautiful Topher.
That's true. And yeah, so that's. I'm pretty sure that the fight was won. Yeah, the orb isn't lit up yet, but dem0nfr0g is just going to tie up some loose ends. Hadn't, in fact, explored here before, so knows that Bahamut is here, is rushing for promotion. Didn't miss out on anything. We don't have a situation with, like, knights and ninjas where they lose out on promotion charges. So we can promote late and it's fine.
We also don't think these things have, like, you know, master magic def, so you just promote when you have a chance, and just go pick up a few extra spells here. Does get to equip that white shirt, though. And that, as we've said before, that is pretty big, as that is a serious upgrade from that gold bracelet, as well as providing a ton of resistances.
Yeah, optimizing this this gear, it'll be also an interesting challenge, because, like, I don't know, your characters are somewhat interchangeable, but you'll probably want the one with the most levels to have the best stuff, and then hand it. I guess it doesn't really matter. Probably the Cat Claw. Oh, you know what? I bet he didn't pick up Invis too early, because he probably was just thinking, hey, that's promotion locked, right? You're so used to that for red mages.
So he left 4 slots open, not realizing that maybe dem0nfr0g thought that these battle wizards had red mage, like they acted like red mages, but in actuality they act like a combination of black mages and white mages. So they're black mages for black magic and white mages for white magic, and now black wizards and white wizards. So they have the entire spellbook available to them.
Shadow doing some of that equipment Tetris right now too.
Yeah, I mean, another thing is that the like, something that's a big difference usually is the fact that certain weapons are way better, and you want to make sure your heavy melee damage dealers get kept alive. But in this case, it's so flat with the masses and the cat claws. So I think the big question is who's going to get the white shirt and who's going to get the defense. Those are kind of going to be the most important pieces of gear that are allocated.
So
ShadowWaker finally finding Nuke.
Oh, go ahead. With what the seed has already thrown at you, the levels are decent for dem0nfr0g. They're not maxed out, obviously. Do you do an informational dive and just see what you're up against? Or do you say, I just know this is going to be bad, and go sit on a grind tile right after this?
I think I would probably do an informational dive. You know, you're level 35 or so. I love the fact that dem0nfr0g has 4 casters of Invis 2. That's that 1.5 round, you know, max evade that I was talking about earlier. I think you have to know. You gots to know. You can't prepare if you don't. I mean, what's the alternative? you feel like you're not ready unless you're level 50 and have every single magic you could possibly need, because there's not much left outside of that, other than he's critically missing the black shirt right now, which he would love to find.
Yeah, and where... So the chime is then somewhere, and probably the chime lock has our last incentive item. What incentive boxes haven't we opened? We've seen mermaids, we've seen carry floor, we've seen vampire floor.
Vampire floor, we've seen sky. We saw Canaria locked, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, nobody's found the ruby and opened up the Titan's Trove.
Yeah, we haven't seen that. But the ruby's an incentive location as well. So I don't know what the start of this chain is.
We've seen bottom and northwest. Oh, we haven't seen
Sages?
No, we've seen waterfall. Wait.
No, we haven't seen
Sages?
waterfall.
Oh yeah, nobody's gone checking level 6, the last town. Oh, actually, ShadowWaker's right there. Wait, he's probably gonna pick up a ruby. And it's probably going to lead to his chime.
Yeah, and there was temper as well in level 6, and heal 3. So those are definitely some nice pickups.
Yeah, though again, you don't love that they conflict. Like heal 3 is a thing you want to spam, and so is temper.
Okay, Demon Frog entering Topher at the 1 hour and 22-minute mark. I don't even know if I want to call this Topher. This is Temple of Fiends, with capital S revisited.
Yeah, what are the random mobs going to be? Is it going to be more screen filling of the usual? Okay, ShadowWaker found a bottle, so that's gonna fetch into some kind of chain and
Ruby or Chime
towards the black shirt.
Yeah, Ruby or Chime, and then that will lead to etc. etc. Oh, these mobs in Topher are just awful. You want nothing to do with any of these. I mean, you can already get the dragon filling, your screen's filled with dragons and Medusas and things like that, but...
And this is a vanilla formation.
Hey, it can't be so bad when you see it normally, right?
Oh man, this quad sandworms, the black belt player in me who loves to grind sandworms is just salivating at the screen.
Yeah, when I saw those 4 eyes, but no, those are some nice sandwiches.
Yep. Like 4 eyes, obviously. If that were possible to roll, I would obviously take it over 4 sandworms. But I love me some sandworms.
All these delicious snacks, and Falconic and Meridian were nice enough to just make sure that we're fully supplied in all fights. Such a kind, generous thing to do.
ShadowWaker's about to get his key, an important component, but he remains behind. Now, key leads directly to loot. It's in Canaria Lock.
Yeah.
So, if he has not dug out Canaria Castle yet, that's going to be super bountiful for him. Up here in Cardias, we also have the Temple of Fiends, so that'll be his Garland Kill and stuff. So he's not that much exploration behind, but Demon Frog feels like he's got a good 15 plus minutes, maybe 20 minutes right now on ShadowWaker.
Knowing how ShadowWaker plays, if ShadowWaker finds Kraken, and that's a big if ShadowWaker finds Kraken, this lead will evaporate very quickly. But if he doesn't, and that's the more likely scenario, then yes, I completely agree with you.
So worms are unrunnable, I'm pretty sure. Wait, hang on. So the worm formation that you can get... Wait a minute. I think the 1 to 2 worms that are on the lower floors... the earlier floors is not normally unrunnable in vanilla, but I think the later one on the sky floor is. But that formation was unrunnable. I'm trying to pair together the fact that we've got these goofy formations with the fact that unrunnables are not shuffled.
Yeah, so Moist Mogwai, gifting 5 subs, thank you very much. Speed Gaming appreciates your support. And something I was just going to point out on Demon Frog's side that I didn't like what I saw was the fact that he was only swinging with 2 people. And I think that means he didn't pick up 2 more Cat Claws, which are just freely available in Gaia and can make it can speed up your Fiend fights, which makes them significantly safer if you have 4 melee classes. And we have 4 Liches.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Well, this fight, this is where you just need Quake, right? Just like you spam Quake on this fight, easy game. But Harm 4 actually a pretty good option here too. So Lich 2, let's talk about Lich 2 in vanilla is a 500 HP boss, and they have nuclear. 500 HP that can scale up to 1500 in this flag set, but that nuclear is going to be a problem. Maybe not with HP pools reaching into the 600s. We can survive a round of it, but it's not fun. Gosh, this already tells me that we need to grind.
Yeah, the adjustment here is not an adjustment in Topher. The adjustment here is we need everyone with a bunch more HP. Because without that, you're not getting anywhere. 4 nuclears is going to do your party work, and if you know that some, daring devils were willing to put 4 Lich 2s, then I would expect at least 3 carries, and probably at least 2 Tias and Krakens. And, 2 Kraken Hondas is just a terrifying thought. dem0nfr0g does make it out, though, so he's gonna keep going. Gonna try and get a little bit more information on what Carry 2 is up to. Or Carries 2 are up to. This was very confusing to me for a second, because I thought ShadowWaker was in Topher. And yeah, we do have 3 Carry 2s.
That's actually, the fact that, never mind, the backgrounds are the same and they're both on Fiend fights with screen filling and stuff, that was really confusing me too.
Well, no, the 4 Lich 1s look exactly the same as the 4 Lich 2s. So, that also probably tells me that all the Fiend fights are going to be the same. So we're looking at 4 Liches, 3 Carries, 2 Tias, and 2 Krakens. But way, Chaos is still a big unknown.
Com's got to be super happy here because, we just got subs from Moist Mogwai as well, so thank you for the subs to Speed Gaming.
I mean, right. We're living here pretty frequently, so we'll make good use of them.
These carries, we're doing good damage to them. As we said way back, the stats and bosses are it's a very, very low clamp. So these crit rates are going to really just punch through. We don't have to worry too much about high evade. But the HP pools, 700 to 2100, pretty spooky, and it looks like we switched to melee reliance rather than nuke reliance for these 2 higher level black mages.
Yeah, I still just really don't like the fact that the other ones don't have cat claws, because when you see high clamps, what that screams to you is melee, because melee is the only way you're going to get the consistent damage out, and also those higher damage out. You can prep for a round or 2, but then you're going to get. It's kind of like exponential damage versus linear, which you get with nuke. And when you have high clamps, you want the exponential growth, where you prep for a few rounds and then do 700 damage a hit rather than 200, 200, 200, 200, 200.
Yeah. And with this crit rate, Temper and Saber are absolutely enormous because when you crit, the extra attack power that you've added is counted twice. It counted once in sort of the base roll of the attack and then once in the critical component. So you just get so much gas out of Temper with these cat claws.
I actually really like the scaling, the way that they decided to do the scaling, because those the tightly clamped damage and things like that make sure that you're not getting huge absorb and huge amounts of damage and just get one shot. But the high HP pools make it so that they really have to show off their entire range of battle mage rather than just being 4 glorified nuke fade casters.
Ooh, and here we got a
2
subscription coming
Krakens.
in from Duchess for Kaio-sama, who's actually one of our trackers tonight. Thank you for subscribing at Tier 1.
So dem0nfr0g immediately going for those, I think quad invis 2 strats, which is fantastic. Gonna really, and got some good turn order as well, so gonna evade a lot of what Kraken 2 has to offer here.
Yep, Kraken, though all the fiends are equally likely to roll spells and scripts, of the ones who will melee you, Kraken is gonna hurt the most because of those vanilla 8 hits, which can roll up in this scaling to maybe 10 hits.
Yeah. But Kraken has Nuclear as their first skill, so not exactly what you're looking for, but having that slightly imbalanced party HP does mean that those 2 melee classes are always in extremely safe ranges.
Yeah. Also, there's only 2 of them, so it's unlike the Liches, who also had the first skill Nuclear.
Yeah. For one time, Lich looks to be much scarier than Kraken. Kraken has Inferno, okay. That was a little bit of a calm curse, but nothing that they can't really handle here.
Right.
As one Kraken's already gone down, so that means this one is going to be following soon after, as soon as these melees get in. And there we go, Kraken 2 is down.
Yeah, Inferno is something that people who might have played vanilla don't often think too much about, because you have fire resistance across the board when you get to Chaos, so it's whatever. But Inferno is the highest damaging elemental skill or spell in the entire game. It's ridiculous. When it's not resisted, it can do up to 380, I think.
Yeah, just below nuke. So not something you want to see. And he only does have the one ribbon and no additional elemental resistances, as he does not have a black shirt. And the white shirt does not grant resistance to the kind of core elements of fire, ice, lightning, and earth.
Exactly.
ShadowWalker actually making the plays that he needs to make, though, because I believe Kraken was behind this ruby lock, right?
Yeah.
Or sorry,
and
broad lock.
the rod. Yeah. And also, he's checking this spike tile here, so this could be a ribbon or a defense. I think would be the best outcomes. Maybe a power gauntlet.
dem0nfr0g taking on Tia, and ShadowWalker finds his third ribbon. dem0nfr0g doing straight Invis 2 strats, though, so definitely getting his evasion up right away.
Yeah, so we've been granted a little bit of a reprieve by the cooks behind the scenes here, with only 2 Kraken and Tias on the screen. But I still don't know what to expect for Chaos.
I'm wondering if it's going to be like a 4-feed party platter.
Ooh, that Bane. So I don't know what Mega had equipped. The Bane killed it though, and yeah, like, are we dealing with one ribbon here over on dem0nfr0g's team?
Yes, dem0nfr0g only does have a single ribbon.
Oh, okay, so it's on the bottom character.
Yeah, that's correct. And this level disparity, unfortunately, he did have wall available to him, which was something that I'm sure, I'm not going to say that something could happen, but, a wall cast is probably an adjustment that could be made if this has to go a second time. But
yeah, wall was
ShadowWalker?
level 2, it's not as in his spell list.
Oh, he didn't take a single wall caster?
I'm not sure. I certainly don't see any.
He didn't know it was available to him.
Yeah, exactly. It's in the first couple spell levels.
I think he didn't take it because he thought it was white mage locked, and he thought he was a red wizard.
Well, yeah, but normally level 2 is whatever. We'll talk about it later. He's getting down these Tiamats.
Yeah, Tia's going down. The melee character's getting the job done, and ShadowWalker is in no mode now. So he's going to be lighting his 4th orb, and he will be in Temple of Fiends shortly.
So I guess now we're basically within the space of a wipe. If dem0nfr0g is pulling Chaos as Shadow is getting out of this Kraken 1 fight, then if this Chaos is particularly nasty, and goodness knows it could be, we could be looking at a really neck-and-neck race.
If this is even a Chaos.
Yeah, I mean,
we'll call
it's
it the final
certainly
boss.
chaotic. We don't know what it is, so it's very... Yeah.
Maybe we can even call it chaotic evil, considering this is Final Fantasy, and basically everything is somewhat sourced from D&D.
Yep. And we know the chefs for this seed are evil.
And definitely chaotic.
Yeah, nothing really beyond level 4 magic, it looks like, for dem0nfr0g. Did he ever even buy Fade?
I don't think he bought Fade, and he also didn't pick up Saber. Oh my goodness!
Oh my god! No, wait! This is horrifying.
Okay, so he's down to... He's got enough Invis 2 charges, but his melee character's gonna have to do something. He has no nuke charges left, essentially, though. And he does not have wall, and these Fire 3s are going to do a ton of damage to his non-ribbon characters.
Yeah, given the constraint on the resources here, this is probably going to be a mostly melee fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't know, ShadowWalker is going to be entering Topher behind this Garland that he apparently did not need to kill really soon, so if dem0nfr0g wipes to this, or because of being down resources, wipes to Chaos, we'll be back... Oh, wait, ShadowWalker's going to level? What's he doing?
Not quite... Oh, he might be checking for a black shirt with, like, Sarah?
Or he doesn't have the loot on the tracker.
Oh, he might not have checked Corneria locked.
Yeah, he's going to check Sarah and Canary locked for the loot.
Yeah, that's a nice double dip. These War Mechs, looking not too bad. They do have Quad X, which is a nice free round for them. So... that is a saving grace.
Ever...
And yeah, this melee fight just going to keep on going. Cure 4 also doing some serious work here. Rub could hit the third bottom battle mage here.
Yep, and now Shadow's in go mode.
happy to see that loot. So yeah, we are basically exactly one Topher wipe apart at this point, and we know that there's a quad Warmech surprise waiting.
So as far as stats, like, we're getting stats in the Topher dive itself. There are tons of fights yielding a lot of experience. This one that will, for dem0nfr0g as well, it's going to be a lot. ShadowWaker is not going to be wanting for levels by the end of the dive, but of course going in, if you have more levels, you have more magic charges to work with.
Yeah, absolutely. I also like, he's got 4 high-level characters as well as 4 cat claws, so right now, dem0nfr0g's only relying on 2 people swinging, but he could take these fights down a lot quicker and a lot safer.
Shadow hunting for that incentive gear, it picks up his white shirt, so that's going to be a boon. He's got great resistances across the board now if you look at how many ribbons and so forth he has. Oh, that was an enormous crit from that Warmech. Oof, he's actually down to 1, and they're casting Swirl, which is non-elemental.
Oh! This is going to be close.
Does he have... He doesn't have Cure 4 on that one. He opted not to go for the full suite of Cure 4s. Oof, that Fire 3 was almost lethal. Quad X
gets the free round. The 2...
No! He was probably an attack away. And he knows it too. I think that had to be a... So he died there. He probably did not did not hard reset, just in case that Warmech is not the only encounter on that floor and he has a chance to, like, pass those without seeing them again.
It's not a quote-unquote trap tile, as Falconic is alluding to in chat. It'd be hilarious if you could dodge it by, like, walking the longer way.
I don't actually know. There's a chance that it is a spike tile. Yeah. We'll have to see if what happens on the next dive here, but he's still going in ahead of ShadowWaker, but this time absolutely less prepared. Right. ShadowWaker is picking up copies of Saber.
And I really like picking up copies of Saber here. So between copies of Saber and 4 Catclaw wielding leveled battle mages, he is in much better shape. And if this, if he enters Topher fairly soon here, I could see him passing dem0nfr0g if dem0nfr0g struggles through some of these feed fights like he did last time, just in terms of not execution per se, but just in terms of the extra preparedness and the extra damage his team's able to output. Like, look at that spell list.
ShadowWaker following the full slab chain, possibly. He really is looking for that black shirt, though I don't think, with as many ribbons as he has, I don't think he needs it. That said, the black shirt does have buffed defense tonight, too. So it would be the highest absorb that a mage could equip.
Yeah, so the black shirt has 45 absorb, which is more than the dragon armor. So yeah, dragon armors can get put aside. We've got the black shirt now. The ultimate endgame armor. Has all the resistances like a ribbon, and has 45 absorb.
The slime formation did not fill the screen. That looked pretty much vanilla.
You gotta know that dem0nfr0g's gone in on a different power cycle, just hoping that that was a random encounter. But at this point, I would say 99% chance it is not.
Yeah. And I mean, with the discussion in chat, I'm leaning towards it's a spike tile. Oh, I wonder if something was maybe like cheekily tucked away in. Actually, no, they did the randomization on their own from them. Actually, I'm not sure who did the randomization. Did they get a ROM? Because if they got a ROM, all kinds of madness could have been done to it post facto, like, say, putting something cool in the Vanilla Mazda chest.
Oh, what could be in the Vanilla Mazda chest? That'd be so cool if they just would, like, threw in, like, a random incentive, like, the black shirt is in the Vanilla Mazda chest, for example. But we know in this case that is not the case. So dem0nfr0g about to take on his quad liches again, and ShadowWaker about to enter, so he is just a little bit behind, but as we said before, just so much better prepared. Like, 3 ribbons, all the levels he could want on all 4 party members, 4 cat claws. So ShadowWaker going to be making quick work of this Topher, but we'll have to see if he catches up to dem0nfr0g.
I guess Dengmu is probably not here, so he can't be saddened by this, but this 4 lich fight is just begging to be given the cake. It's birthday time.
Imagine you could have 4 battle wizards casting cake too. ShadowWaker taking a few fights. I mean, this mage fighter pack is like so much experience, but feeling like he wants to get a few levels before he climbs. Having the 4 melee characters definitely speeding it up though.
Yeah, and as well the Zeus Gauntlet casting Lit 3. On the other side of this fight, man, he's probably going to get like 3 or 4 levels, maybe 5 levels off this. So he might even like exit and save it. I'm not sure.
Like, dem0nfr0g just consistently has members of his party going down in every single fight, and it just really does slow down how quickly he can get through them, and how safely. Like, this is not what you're wanting to see right now. That was an accidental wait, so hopefully we don't get another nuclear here. And that mage survives and gets to level 45 off the single fight.
Yep, and all of ShadowWalker's mages are in the 40s now. Or I think, maybe a few in the high 30s at most. Oh yeah, there's one at 39.
Shucks. Guy's not cool kid part of the level 40 club.
But yeah, rather than messing with the vitality stat, which is one way to affect HP growth, the creators of this madness, the Meridian Falconic Special, put in more fixed level ups to increase the total HP gain for the battle mages, so they're more akin to the way that knights gain HP versus the way that black belts gain HP.
And as you're seeing here, this is another nice kind of quality of life change. Heal pots are healing 60 HP, so nice and quick to get some extra health out of it. Although in this case, you know, they have enough healing magic available to them as well, but want to save those charges.
Yeah, I think I'd be more like stoked about double strength heal pots if it were true black mage only run, but with the fact that I'm gonna get cure 4 anyways, it's mostly just for the early game.
9 slimes, that is also a boatload of EXP. I wonder if Shadow's just going to take a few fights until he hits... oh, he's trying to run. I was going to say, you could just take a few fights to see if you can hit 50, because with these mobs and the EXP scaling at it, you're going to get 2-3 levels per fight.
Yeah, well, the unrunnables. He knows unrunnables aren't shuffled and that there's going to be fights he's forced to take, so I think he's going to be 50 by Chaos, which was honestly my pre-seed prediction for the level scaling.
Yeah. And in the comms booth, we do not know actually what's in Chaos. So we were given a little bit of additional information for things that are kind of available just by looking. Like, for example, the exact absorb numbers on the shirts and things like that. But we have no idea what is waiting behind the 4 War Mech door. So we are just as excited as you guys are to figure out what's coming up next.
dem0nfr0g currently has a 2 Fiend lead, but is going to take longer per fight. So this is where Shadow tries to close the gap.
And if there's anyone who can execute Fiend fights, it's definitely Shadow. Shadow likes to go fast. dem0nfr0g no stranger to that either, as he is healing potting up nice and quick. ShadowWalker greeted with his 4 eyes. dem0nfr0g also greeted by 6 eyes.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, not new here. So we know that the Kraken also had the nuclears, but that fight didn't go too poorly for dem0nfr0g the last time. So unless maybe we get deeper into the spell skill list, I'm not super worried about his ability to make it past.
Yeah, I agree. I think at this point, I'm not too concerned about dem0nfr0g getting through these Fiend fights. It's just how quickly. Because ShadowWalker's, you know, quickly closing the gap here. As he's about to take on Carry, and I think the Carry fight's going to be a lot faster for ShadowWalker than it was for Demon. He picked up Ruse, which is a nice pickup as well. So that is not what you want to see. Kraken opened up with double nuclear turn 1 with first and second turn order. Invis 2 strats going off. ShadowWalker playing fairly defensive on Carry, but I'm expecting him, to just open up the floodgates shortly. He did keep his fasted mages in the front, which is interesting, but I guess he's feeling fairly safe.
Oof, man, those unresisted Infernos are just so massive. And that's actually, this is getting a little spooky. We're gonna need some turn order here.
Yeah, he only has... Oh, he did not get turn order. And he does not have Cure 4 on that bottom Black Wizard, as we pointed out before, which is a huge
oh yeah, he needs to maybe consider shuffling around his best equipment to someone who had Cure 4.
I was just about to say the exact same thing. And Demon Frog wipes, so ShadowWaker firmly in the lead here, and Demon Frog not making any adjustments, just saying, you know what, run it back. I hope he makes that.
Previous time, and he just feels like he was probably unlucky on the turn order. If he goes into his equipment screen at some point from here, that's the best adjustment he can make because he's not changing up his Magicker levels.
Yeah, I really hope he does move his. I guess the problem is he's not just like ShadowWaker. Like ShadowWaker's 4 mages are kind of interchangeable, but Demon Frog doesn't have levels, so like his better equipment wielding people are not so much because of their equipment, it's also because of their levels. And unfortunately, one of his leveled characters just doesn't have Cure 4.
Yeah, that oh gosh, the one that's in the second slot barely has any magic, even though it would be able to cast a lot of that stuff in the level 3 to 4 range if it had charges, or sorry, if it had been bought for it right now. Even just an extra copy of Nuke, like that thing would be able to cast what, 5 nukes, 6 nukes at its current level?
Yeah. But Demon Frog is making oh no, this is unrunnable. I was going to say, I wonder if Demon Frog does make an adjustment and just grinds a few extra levels on the way up. I don't. The problem with it is exactly as what you were saying, which is that you're not getting the spell charges from it, which is a major disadvantage, as a lot of these battle mages' strength is coming from a mixture of spells and melee.
Oh man, look at the juicy levels. ShadowWaker is ranging now from 43 to 46.
Yeah, he's going to be pretty close to max out by the time he gets to Chaos. He's just taking these fights too. Like, this is not an unrunnable, right? So we were asking, does he want to get up to 50? And the answer is yes. I mean, Gershok, Big Eyes, a good enough tile to begin with, but when you have 4 of them, whew, man, that's a lot of EXP.
Yeah, and so the rationale to level at this point, unless MDef growth has been changed or anything, it's just HP. Because hit percent, you're not going to get another swing on one of those weapons. You're gaining 2 hit percent a level on these classes, I think. We weren't told of any hit percent or MDef scaling growth changes anyways.
Yeah. And MDef not really as big of a deal with all the ribbons that he has. So, but HP is huge here, especially with so many Cure 4 casters. Like, HP plus Cure 4 is a real nice combination.
And especially when you know what the Fiends can dish out, we've seen so much non-elemental AoE going out.
Yeah, sometimes on these other Fiends you can just rush them down, but it's really hard to rush down 2 or 3 copies of these various ones. Even Lich, as we've seen, putting up a pretty good fight with his quad nuclear. ShadowWaker going with defensive strats, which is kind of nice. Kraken showing their nuclear, but I think Shadow should have no problem getting through this fight. I hope they didn't just calm curse him to death, but I just can't see anything that Kraken can do where a bunch of Cure 4s aren't going to bail ShadowWaker out.
Exactly. Like, after all those nuclears, your lowest HP member is still above the range of a Nuke's maximum roll. So that's a really comfortable spot to be in.
Yeah. And at any points he starts getting a little scared, like maybe he's getting a little scared right now, he just pops a few of them up to max HP with Cure 4s, and then he's right back into safety.
And even Lich is just giving Demon Frog the business here. He went down very low before finishing off Lich. But yeah, I love taking a defensive approach, not only on clamps, but also when I know that my resource count is high and that my options for taking down the fights are numerous. It's totally a different scenario. I'm level 21 and it's like nuke or I lose, right? These fights can afford to be taken carefully. ShadowWaker hasn't seen a dot done, so I don't know if he felt behind from the early game, but yeah, he's in a good position.
He had to feel a little bit behind with that was pretty much last entrance floater, I think. So he's probably knowing there's some tough things. And also just, this is not just the normal Swiss seed where we say, hey, so-and-so rolled this, so it has it out for you. No. This is literally the seed has it out for you in some way. They know something's waiting for them because this is just, a custom-baked Volcanic Meridian special.
49. We're so close.
We're
even going to get there before Tia 2, huh?
perhaps the reason the heal pots were buffed was just because they knew the HPs were going to be so high that you don't want to be, using 25 heal pots to get one person up.
Yeah, if you're trying to get through a stack, like 99 heal potions doesn't actually go far when you're trying to max out 4 999 HP characters.
Luckily, Cure 4 still getting the job done. I mean, you want to be a little cautious with it, but at this point, they're pretty far into the dungeon. They just have so many casts of it. I think if there's anything that I've taken away so far, it's just that the Life 2 Cure 4 on all 4 characters is really paying off and making a difference here, as well as keeping all 4 up. But I honestly think the Cure 4 is making the bigger difference.
Yep. And that top black mage, battle mage did max out under 999 HP, so this really looks like similar pattern to fighter HP growth, but with the fixed level ups pushed later, as Falconic was alluding to when he previewed the flags for us. So yeah, really, really strong. You can survive 2 nukes and then some.
2 max roll nukes.
Exactly. So, like, 5 regular nukes.
Yeah. Demon Frog did get through carry. So, he's a fiend and a half behind. ShadowWaker.
That he took. This is actually, like, impressive that he's made it back this close.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. ShadowWalker, really, these Tias have a little bit of evade, and now, I mean, these Tias have a maximum of 3,300 HP, so you could be here for a while, but doing some pretty good damage. Like, when you're doing 1,000 hits, 2,000 damage around, they won't last too long. Yeah, and already making the adjustment, assuming the first Tia is going to die, doing the mental maths in his head. And gets it correct.
This party probably would never need to Quad X anything. Like, Quad X is never going to do more damage than one of your... Well, okay, I take it back. I just saw 276 out of that swing.
Yeah, but why risk it? Because and he gets greeted. Oh, he did not heal.
He had no idea what to expect, right? Yep, and this is in fact a spike tile. So good luck, but he starts at a pretty respectable HP total, so I don't think he's going to be worried. Like, if you drag a bunch of, like, half corpses and, like, 1 HP characters to this spot, it's a lot different than going in where your lowest character was in the mid-500s.
Yeah, and they have seen this War Mech before. I don't remember whether it's Demon Frog or ShadowWalker who summoned the War Mech, but they know that he doesn't have, nuclear in his skill list.
Both had to fight it, and I think both deliberately did take a fight on the Bridge of Destiny at least once.
Yeah. I'm going to assume that this is the same War Mech.
The palette looks different? Was the War Mech red the first time?
I'm not sure.
I guess it has to be, right? I don't think there's any trickery in the rando that would make the same enemy change palettes, so...
Yeah, it was red. So, yeah, so this is the same War Mech. So... It's big, beefy, hits hard, casts lots of spells, but it's definitely something that ShadowWalker's party can take on. Like, Demon Frog, meanwhile, just seems to be at 2 party members permanently, just always down to 2.
So he's still got, like, really good HP totals for this deep into the fight.
These War Mechs just not going down, though, but Krakens are, and this fight should be over in a few rounds here.
Yep. Swirl, about the most dangerous thing War Mech can do. And that HP range, I want to say it's like 1,500 to 4,500.
Yeah, I actually don't know exactly what War Mech's vanilla HP is. So I just remember the Fiends because they just go up 100 at a time. Oh, we do have the first casualty on ShadowWalker's side. I mean, he does have probably 15 casts of Life 2 available to him at this point. But
I think that was the one without the resistance, because his levels actually go top to bottom. His most important characters are at the top, whereas we've had the inverse for Demon Frog.
I mean, with everything able to do damage, just putting the highest HP at the top makes a lot of sense, because you're not trying to protect, your knight who's your tank and your damage dealer. In this case, everyone's a damage dealer, so just survivability up top, and there's your 50s.
Okay.
Oh, he took another step. I would not have taken another step.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, what's on this? Oh no, he only went through the stairs, right? The stairs aren't going to get you an encounter.
don't trust anything.
They're usually not going to get you an encounter. But on this, I wouldn't even trust this floor. So let's get full HP before even taking a step on this floor.
Yeah. I assume we're not going to be seeing a victory lap today. Can you imagine, though, if, like, Meridian and Falconic just put a bunch of Trap Tails on the victory lap only? Oh, man, that'd be hilarious.
That would have been hilarious.
Okay, so ShadowWalker taking on quote-unquote Chaos, and we have... 2 Chaos and 4 something?
Imps? Yeah.
There's no way these are imps. Oh no, they're imps.
They're imps. They ran.
Okay, the reason they're imps, I have a guess, is because the code that they used to change it was to make it sure that all encounters were maxed out, and they didn't want to max out on Big Eyes. So that's why the imps were there, I think.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, so Chaos maximum 6,000 HP.
Wow. All right, this has got to be the first time in like Rando history that we've seen 2 Chaoses on the same screen for a final fight.
Also, this seed brought to you by 4 Eyes. Just at all the fights, 4 Eyes.
Yep. Feast your eyes on this masterpiece.
Nice. We haven't really... Oh, Mute is very annoying. One note with Mute, I believe it's curable by Cure 4. This is more for Demon Frog's sake than for ShadowWalker's, but...
He went around the side, and it's still a spike tile.
Ah, darn, I really wanted that to work. But ShadowWalker doing the huge defensive strats, which I think has to be the right call here. Has he done a test swing? Is that why he's doing all these lock casts?
I think he's just being cautious. Now, the evade can't roll that high, right? 130 clamped is not... Ooh, Chaos has Cure 4. That
Chaos
could be maybe annoying with 6,000 HP, but again, it could also be 2,000 HP, right? We don't know where in that spectrum Chaos is going to fall.
Yeah, so, and you have 2 of them casting it, so we'll have to see. But the key thing is ShadowWalker does have the Saber and Tempers, so even if Cure 4, he can do the damage real fast. Okay, let's see One Punch Man right now. Let's go.
Punch Man, something you don't often say about classes other than Black Belt. Oh, that nuke is spooky. But
okay, so
Chaos is already down.
These Chaoses have about 2,500 HP, so this is not going to be a big issue considering he's swinging for 1,000.
I'm optimistic. I think chat's optimistic here too.
Oh, Chaos has fast. Wow, Chaos has some spells. Chaos has Cure 4 fast, doing some work, but unfortunately no match for these battle mages. The battle mages reign supreme. Chaos lives for a few more swings here, and he is down. Get your GGs out in chat as ShadowWalker finishes in 1 hour and 59 minutes. The Falconic Meridian special has been defeated.
Well, that was sub 2. It's the sub 2 dream. We did it. We did it, everyone.
Hey!
More than 2 hours, at least on ShadowWalker's run. Demon Frog probably going to go somewhere in the 203, 204 range. But he's getting through this.
You were here. You saw the first ever sub 2 on these flag sets. Congratulations. Oh man, this is going to be frustrating for Demon Frog as he did just take out those war mechs, which means it was just a matter of, getting some turn order and some knowledge. Because he wiped a number of times.
He was so close, right?
Yeah.
Stakes of this are one SRL race, right? It's not like there's a whole tournament behind this.
Yeah.
But it's sad to know you were on the doorstep.
We do have some... I think that's modified text there saying you are the greatest player. Congratulations to ShadowWalker. And we are joined in the booth by ShadowWalker. GG's, man.
Hey, thank you very much. This is a super fun race. I guess ROM? Like, it was obviously a very edited class, but it was very fun to play with the 4 mages that were just, like, uber powered.
Yeah, so, how was that spike tile? The 4 war mechs?
A little bit surprising. I probably shouldn't have been surprised. This is Falconic and Meridian after all, but, just get done killing Tier 2 and just casually waltzing onto Chaos' floor and, oh, hey, look, 4 war mechs.
But you got that preview way earlier in the game, though.
Yeah, I did find the war mech off the power cycle going into the Bridge of Destiny, so had an idea of what I was up against. I knew it wasn't going to be super threatening, considering how many more levels I had at that point.
So your approach, which is actually bearing out now as Demon Frog is taking on the final boss, the Double Chaos, you prepared and you maxed out on the spells. You got the saber charges. You were ready for a 4 essentially redundant interchangeable battle mage strat, whereas Demon Frog isn't going to have that kind of melee DPS, and these Cure 4s on Chaos could come back to fight him.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really know what to expect other than having seen that there were multiple fiends at each fiend fight previously, so I knew that something was going to be afoot in Topher. So I wanted a situation where even if I got down to one character, I could theoretically salvage the fight.
Yeah, and that definitely... The one character part didn't come up, but just like the fact that you could get through the fiends a little bit faster and a lot safer really made the difference for you. Demon Frog wiped in Topher 4 times? 3 or 4 times?
I just went off, and I think it was on the top Chaos that he had been focus firing. That's not good. He'd already down to 2 mages, and the magic charges are getting low here. We cast so many... There's the Cure 4 on the bottom one. We cast so many Invis 2s throughout this Topher dive that it actually soaked up all the fasts. So I think we only have one fasted good weapon wielder here, which is Mega. And there's Nuke. Oh, this is... Oh, you both survived, but this is not looking good. He's down to his last 2 Cure 4s, because this bottom mage doesn't have Cure 4.
Yeah, making the adjustment, he did cast the fast on the mage with the Cure 4, but this is definitely some sketchy business. And he does not have Temper or Saber or Power Bonk, and those are just like making a huge change here. As those Cure 4s, when they fight reset in a normal run, when you have one of those things, it's not a true fight reset because you already have all your buffs up. But in this case, he had nothing but Invis stacks.
Oh,
okay, 1 Chaos down.
This is totally winnable now. If he was still trying to fight through 2 Cure 4 rotations with like 1 character, I would have thought it was dicey, but he can do this.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's doing 11. Oh, gets a huge crit though. Last Cure 4 charge comes out. Okay, Chaos Cure 4's up, he Cures 4's up, they stare each other eye to eye. We know that Chaos has about 2,500 HP, so this should be about 5 rounds or so?
Wait, hang on. I think it was more than 2,500. ShadowWaker was dishing... He did that in 2 attacks and Chaos didn't die.
Yeah, I was dealing 1,000 damage per attack, and it was taking a little over 4 attacks.
He's going on with his spell list. Falconic? That Cure 4 and Nuke come way faster than a normal... Oh, it's a short spell list.
It's fast Cure 4 Nuke.
God, was this by design? Like, this is so troll.
Oh my goodness. Cure 4
goes
up
Falconic.
again.
Yeah, I'm not used to short spell lists. I'm used to 8. It's much less common for the fiends to roll 4 spells only. This is... You might not be able to win this.
Oh, and Demon Frog takes the wipe.
I was just gonna say he's also getting really bad luck. He wasn't... Chaos wasn't using skills at all. It looked...
Yeah. I don't know if...
I was definitely seeing some swirls and nuclears that could have staved off those Cure 4s.
Yeah, like, we saw, like, super fast Cure 4s.
His melee attacks were doing different damage each round, so he wasn't looping. It was just a really unlucky spell selection.
Yeah. So, yeah, some big differences in the seed. Like, ShadowWaker, you kind of 4-manned the whole time. Got the levels on everyone. Someone said in chat you were like 50, 49, 48, 47, or sorry, yeah, 50, 49, 48, 47 at some point. Meanwhile, Demon Frog doing a very different approach, but Demon Frog found that floater probably 20 to 30 minutes before you. That was kind of the big difference. But after that, you made really quick work, because you found Kraken a lot faster than Demon Frog did.
Yeah, I feel like I played kind of okay. Definitely not one of my best runs, but it ended up working out very favorably because the strategy seemed to have a lot of levels on everybody. And seeing those multiple fiends, I kind of had a sense that was going to be the case. That's why I was being very thorough about my spell checks and making sure I had all the resources I needed.
Yeah, and that overall strategy kind of showed in Temple of Fiends Revisited. I think, did Demon Frog resign?
Yeah, he did officially forfeit.
Okay.
And yeah, he's got IRL stuff to attend to, and totally understandable. It is late on a Sunday night. But still, it was a really entertaining run and could have gone either way, as we saw with how TOFR went for both runners.
We saw you digging for the black shirt. Did you know exactly what was going on with it?
I actually knew that the black shirt was an incentive item. The reason I was digging was in case I found a third ribbon, which I did.
Oh, sorry. I mean, like,
the...
you did, like, the slab turn-in checks and things looking to try and find that last incentive. But then when you didn't find it, you're like, okay, I'm not going to go diving the Q block.
Yeah, I didn't want to dive the Q block, didn't want to dive the Chime dungeon. If it was a quick turn-in that I could get easily, I was going to go for that. But if I had to actually dig more dungeons, because I had a feeling I was behind. I felt like I was just kind of slow. And I thought that... we're getting close to the 2-hour mark. I better go if I'm gonna win this. So,
yeah. Did you by chance have it narrowed down who would give us our ruby behind one of those things to eventually get that last piece of gear? Because I cannot remember what bottom we didn't see. We saw waterfall and northwest, and we saw ice. And ice wasn't even an incentive.
No, waterfall wasn't northwest.
Yeah, I think we didn't find. It was ordeals.
Waterfall and northwest. Ordeals had the floater. Oh, sorry. We're getting confused on the terminology here. I'm just saying we saw the thing that was the entity of waterfall. And
I see what you're saying.
Was of Northwest Castle, right? Which are things that, if you go down to the bottom of a dungeon on entrance floor shuffle, will get you a key item.
Looks like, according to my notes, either Cube or Chime had to lead to Waterfall or Elf Castle.
Oh, Elfland Castle, right? We never saw an herb turn-in. The herb was for sale at the bottle vendor.
That makes sense. So yeah, so that would eventually have led to the black shirt. So yeah, the black shirt, I don't know if you knew exactly what it did, ShadowWaker, but it had 45 absorb and was a ribbon.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I was really looking forward to finding it. Unfortunately, I never did. But I did find the white shirt, and I figured between that and having 3 ribbons, that was probably enough, and it worked out rather well.
Yeah, another big difference is dem0nfr0g only had a single ribbon, and that definitely, all that elemental damage, it wasn't really the insta-kills, but it was just the constant chip of the elemental damage, and without a ribbon, they really hurt. Cheeseinator was pointing out that Inferno was just an absolute beating with only a single ribbon.
We didn't find any
yeah.
balls, I'm pretty sure.
I mean, when I was doing my dive, Inferno was like a noticeable difference between the character that didn't have the elemental resist, because the white shirt only provided things like status and time and death element. But not having that fire resist on it, the character with the white shirt was taking about 300 damage, while the others were taking about 60 to 80, which was just massive difference.
I guess any last comments? Maybe more high level, like just looking back at this as an experiment, the concept of battle mages, whatever, as we wrap up the broadcast here?
It was just really fun. I think Tarnin did a similar ROM hack idea with the BBOP, where you've got the BB that can cast all the spells, and having these kind of like overpowered characters that can just kind of waltz through the game, but also having a seed that was designed to provide enough challenge to those characters was a very fun experience. So big shout outs to Falconic and Meridian for coming up with all these different crazy ideas that they've thrown at us lately.
Yep. I think this was both a better match and honestly more interesting than if it had just been like vanilla bosses with 500% clamps on.
Oh yeah, I actually don't even think vanilla bosses with 500% clamps would have been interesting. I mean, it would have been basically, can you get the evasion up before they one-shot your characters, and then whoever's left has to barrel.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for running this tonight. This is a fun little treat. I want to thank everyone in chat for stopping by as well, especially those who stuck around after the raid from Speed Gaming. And a big thank again to Moist Mogwai, who gifted so many subs. It's been a wonderful broadcast for community participation. Chat, do you have anything else you'd like to say to the fans?
No, not at all. I think this was a really fun race. I wanted to give a shout out to our tracker, Duchess for Kausama. Did a great job keeping up with everything here. And yeah, I think it was a really fun experiment. It was interesting just seeing, the different approaches and like what can you do when you have this like ultimate toolbox of a character. So that was a really big fun, and I was glad that it, wrapped up. We got the sub 2. So I'll pass it over to you, Cheese, just to wrap things up here.
Well, big thanks for everyone to stopping by. We are still running the Final Fantasy Randomizer Spring Tournament. It is in the bracket phase. There are 16 entrants remaining, and that is a best of 3 format, so there are going to be multiple matches scheduled for all of them this week. We're going to have a lot of action coming to you live on Speed Gaming starting tomorrow. Please tune in. It's going to be just, wonderful action, and it's kind of we're wrapping up that big event, but the Final Fantasy Randomizer community runs events all year, and there's going to be more action. So if you want to join the Discord, if you want to join and play along with the community, try out some seeds, get your feet wet, you can absolutely do that. Go to finalfantasyrandomizer.com, join our Discord. You can become a duckling and learn how to play the game. Lots and lots of friendly people will be willing to help you out. So that's all that we have for you. Thanks to Meridian and Falconic again for putting together this showcase tonight of so many interesting features. You all have a good night.